evict homeless people from the city.
Washington, D.C.'s mayor says there is no current spike in crime in the city, but the president disagrees, and he's vowing to crack down on criminals. He's already ordered an increased federal law enforcement presence in D.C. this week. On Sunday, he wrote online that he wants to move the homeless out of Washington immediately and move them far from the Capitol. He's scheduled to hold a press conference on Monday to discuss the matter. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu is defending a new military offensive in Gaza. It's even more intense than previously advertised.
The Prime Minister declared Sunday in the face of growing condemnation that Israel has, quote, no choice but to finish the job and complete the defeat of Hamas. Netanyahu said the Security Cabinet last week instructed the dismantling of Hamas's strongholds not only in Gaza City, but also in the central camps and Muwasi. Netanyahu spoke to foreign media just before an emergency meeting of the United Nations Security Council, saying, quote, our goal is not to occupy Gaza, our goal is to free Gaza. The sprawling camps were not part of Israel's announcement Friday. Netanyahu's office said he has spoken with U.S. President Donald Trump about the plan and thanked him for his support. Bernie Bennett reporting.
Parts of the Midwest could get more rain today after weekend storms blamed for at least one death and many high water rescues. Wisconsin, especially hard hit. Milwaukee was really slammed. And while the Midwest deals with flooding caused by more than a foot of rain, more than 36 wildfires raging across at least 8 western states, including California. There's been no word yet on the cause of a deadly weekend house fire in Waldorf, Maryland. 6 people, 2 adults and 4 children, were killed in the blaze. Watching Wall Street ahead of the opening bell, the Dow futures up 62 points, NASDAQ futures 8 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
If you're living with pain, see how Relief Factor can help.
I'm an artist, and I'm in my studio. I listen to the radio all day, and I'm hearing the ads about Relief Factor. And I've got pain in my neck, and it's getting worse. And I'm thinking, well, I'm going to go ahead and order this. 2 weeks later, I've got much better range of motion. If you're experiencing pain at a certain point in life, I would get Relief Factor.
Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor. Go to ReliefFactor.com and get your 3-week quick start today. Only $19.95.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Australia, the latest country to announce plans to recognize a Palestinian state.
Foreign Minister Penny Wong says Australia couldn't keep waiting for the end of a peace process that's ground to a halt before recognising a Palestinian state.
We made clear we would recognise Palestine when it would best contribute momentum to peace. September is that time.
Wong adds Australia's government has also criticised plans announced in recent days by Israeli leader Benjamin Netanyahu for a sweeping new military offensive in Gaza. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. says his country will inevitably be drawn kicking and screaming into any war over Taiwan due to its proximity and the presence of large numbers of Filipino workers on the self-ruled island. This despite China's strong protest over such remarks. News and analysis at townhall.com. Texas Republicans trying to reconvene the state legislature to vote on redrawing congressional maps in their party's favor.
This comes after Democratic lawmakers left the state last week, denying Republicans the quorum they need to proceed. Republicans are trying to redraw 5 U.S. House districts at President Donald Trump's urging. The president is looking for ways to bolster the chance that the GOP will keep control of Congress in the 2026 elections. Democratic-controlled states, including California and New York, are threatening their own redistricting moves in response. When pressed about blue states' threats to retaliate, Governor Greg Abbott argued that many had already squeezed the juice out of their gerrymandering and would be hard-pressed to push it further. Bernie Bennett, Washington.
Delta Airlines says one of its planes clipped another aircraft while pushing back from the gate in Atlanta. The airline says the wing of the plane reportedly made contact with an empty aircraft. The flight was scheduled to travel from Atlanta to Guatemala City, according to FlightAware.com. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here? I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Monday, everybody.
Yeah, welcome back.
Welcome back. I need to start the show.
Mm-hmm.
Or do anything. I need to wish my wonderful wife a happy anniversary.
Absolutely. Happy your anniversary.
It is our anniversary today, 24 years of marriage. So,
congratulations.
Love you very much, sweetie, and happy anniversary.
That's awesome. I always remember too because and you've told me before, it's exactly 1 month before 9/11.
Yes, that's that's the way we remember. No.
I mean, at that point, honeymoon has to be over, right? You're just like, well, there's the real world for you.
Well, in all fairness, we didn't go on a honeymoon right away. We actually went on like the next summer. So, because Kim actually had to be back at school like the next, like, literally like, we did our wedding in Alto and had the reception and all that up there with family and stuff. And then literally like the next day or the day after, Kim had to go back to work.
Man.
It would have been Saturday we got married, so that Monday she had to have been back to work. Yeah. So we were, matter of fact, I remember she left early, and then I came back another day later with family and stuff back down the mountain to Roswell and all that. But yeah, she was a bit salty about that.
So you guys had to leave separately.
We did. She went back a day earlier, and it was something. Yeah, I don't remember the reasoning why. There was something to do with family, because like a bunch of her family, my family are all still in town, and so something along those lines.
Yeah.
So I stayed in Ruidoso a day longer with family, and there something to that effect. I don't remember the whole story.
That's the whole working class wedding, straight back into business and straight back at it.
Yep. But 24 years ago. So
that's awesome. Standing the test of time. Congratulations.
Right. So,
you guys got any big plans?
Well, we're gonna go have dinner tonight. We're gonna go out to dinner.
Nice.
And pretty much low key. She's going
someplace fancy like Red Lobster.
Yeah, nothing fancy. No. We're gonna hit. We're gonna do Antiguas. That'll be all right.
That's very nice.
That's about Roswell fancy.
I like it.
Now we'll go because we both like it, and it's good food. So
that's right.
There, bada bing, bada boom.
Goes down easy.
Have a little octopus for dinner.
Nice.
I do enjoy that octopus.
That's like their thing, right? I mean, you can go anywhere.
I don't know if it's their thing. It's my thing.
Well,
but
I don't know of anywhere else in town that serves, octopus. At least not like that.
Yeah, not to my knowledge.
Maybe the Coco Pirata, but I haven't checked.
Well, if they do, it's not in a steak form like
probably
that.
Not,
it's probably on a tostada, whatever. With it.
Now, do they do the thing where they bring it to the plate and then they pour the sauce on it and it starts moving?
No.
Okay,
no.
see that's
it's grilled like a steak.
Okay.
And then it's grilled with a habanero glaze.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That sounds fancy.
And it tastes very good. The only part that I think unnerves people a little bit is the suction cups. Chewing on them is a little chewy.
Yeah.
They're good. I like them.
You could always just scrape that part off. Enjoy the rest of the
Kim had training. That's what was going on.
Oh,
but she had to go early for training. She clarified on the text there. That's why she had to go early. But I remember it was some reason she had to leave early and family was still here or something. But yeah. But so that's kind of, and then of course Kim is gonna Gallivant to a concert tomorrow.
How did that work out for you, by the way? Are you?
I'm off. I'm here.
Oh yeah. How'd you weasel your way out of this one?
My niece is able to clear her schedule to go with Kim the way it was intended in the first place.
Well, that's going to be a great show, man. I was looking at the lineup. It's Def Leppard always puts on a fantastic show. I'm not a huge fan, but
they're fine. I've just
shows.
seen them 100 times, and I'm good. I just don't need to go to the Journal Pavilion. I don't need to, have all the women scream at Joe Elliott. I don't need all that. I'm good.
I've had my fill.
I've seen Poison a couple times. I'm good there. And pull back of the curtain.
Mm-hmm.
I realized over the weekend I know more than one Extreme song. There's like 4 Extreme songs I knew, and I was like, wow, I didn't realize. Yeah.
Okay. More than words. And
hold on. No, they're
I should have wrote them down.
I know. I can't remember names of them, but as soon as you hear them, I'll be like, that's it. But yeah, my brain. Hold on.
Put you on the spot. Let me see if I can help you out here. Let's dig into.
I think let me see if my Amazon still. No, it's not.
I'm gonna dig into Extreme real quick, and we'll find out. We'll get Extreme.
That's just a funny statement.
I'm gonna dig into Extreme.
Yes.
All right.
Wholehearted.
Okay, yeah.
Wholehearted.
Yeah, Get the Funk Out.
Get the Funk Out was the other one.
I do remember Get the Funk Out. Yeah.
And then there's one more. It is
Rest in Peace.
Yes, it is Rest in Peace. Those 4 songs.
I don't think I've heard Decadence Dance.
Those 4 songs I am officially knowledgeable on.
There you go.
So anyway, but yeah, so that's kind of the deal there. I just got a bunch of shushes. Still no people hooky playing.
Well, I just hope for the concert goers' sake that they don't just do a bunch of covers. We went and saw Midland on Friday at the Lee County Fair.
We didn't get into it.
Well, we'll get into it later, but first of all, the sound was so bad. It was so bad. Like we were in the bleachers in the back, so the concert was, but you could barely hear it. It was very muffled, and like every other song was a cover. Like I think when we walked out, they were playing. I want to say like Hard to Handle.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it was all cover. It was a disappointing show. We'll just leave it at that.
That's a bummer.
But we can get into the rest of it later.
How was Lambert?
We'll get into the rest of it later.
Well, you didn't woo her, I see.
Well, we didn't end up going.
Oh,
yeah,
bummer.
yeah. Well, the combination of negative events. Oh, I did see the skirt. The skirt was she wore a lower skirt.
Okay.
Longer
Even lower
skirt.
than the other? Oh, longer.
A longer skirt.
Gotcha.
So not as much of a show. But the combination of negatives of the Friday evening experience left us to be like, let's find something that we want to do on Saturday. And we just ended up doing other things. But yeah, overall, the fair itself was fantastic. It's huge. There's so much to do and see there, but
to eat various things on a steep.
Ate a few things that didn't agree with me. A couple things that did.
That was part of the Midland issues.
Yeah. Yeah, it might not have been sound. It might have just been like, I might just need to get that fart out,
He's up there doing the Pepto dance. Hey, Pepto, nausea, heartburn, indigestion.
But overall, it was just the concert itself was just kind of a meh. Hopefully they'll do better next year.
It was mid.
But it was mid, yeah. It was Midland was mid.
I think a band like Midland would have been bigger.
Right? Not so much. It was real.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's all right. We made the most of the next day, and I think we actually had a better experience.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't win big in the casino because you're back at work on Monday.
Yep.
So I know that wasn't what happened. Well, good deal. Well, I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah, it was nice.
Despite not everything going.
Just the getting away from it all was nice.
Yeah, it is something kind of nice to do that. So, but yeah, so happy
anniversary,
24th to my wife.
That's
Love
awesome.
you very much, sweetie. And probably should be doing your job.
And
Stop listening.
Stop listening to this morning show. Get to work. Earn your keep.
I don't speak Spanish.
And here's to 24 more.
That's right.
And then I don't know. We'll renegotiate the contract at that point.
Well, after 24, I'm on borrowed time. I think after that. Of course, that'd be about 50. That does happen.
It's that golden age where, you change each other. Both, you're emotionally change each other, and also
Is that
your
the
depends.
part in life I just sit in the chair and people just bring me things and
Yes.
tell me I look happy or you look good. You look rested.
Yeah, they're going to scream it in your face, too. You look great!
Yeah, that'll be that point of life.
Your stories are on.
That's right. He loves Jeopardy. Just put him in front of Jeopardy. He'll be
He's
fine.
just an old rocking chair just going, McDonald's.
Actually, it's going to be different because it's going to be our version. So it's like, oh, he loves American Gladiator. Just stick him there in front of that.
Just sit him down in front of some Beavis and Butthead. He'll be fine.
Turn on his Metallica. He'll be fine.
Darkness, imprisoning me. Yeah, they'll still be on tour, too.
Occasionally give him some pizza rolls or Hot Pockets. He'll be fine.
He's from a different time. They said things like cowabunga then. Ignore him.
That's right. They talk about how great Back to the Future is.
That's the thing. I just want to live long enough for people to describe me as being from another time. Like, that I can say things
You're almost
that are just,
there, dude.
I know. Say things that are just a little out of left field. Be like, he's from a different time.
Yeah, you're pretty much, you're a birthday or two away from that.
I spent most of my school years in the 1900s. So
yeah,
that says something.
Yep. I mean, you've kind of, like, you've had a little bit, because like you could speak of a rotary phone and at least seen them in existence.
I used them. I used one. My grandma had one for years.
Oh, yeah.
Up until like the cell phone era, she had a rotary phone.
I never forget trying to enter radio contests in one. It's really hard. I swear. I was like, why are they all nines?
Yeah, redials just didn't exist back in the day.
Why are they always 106.9?
Actually, I remember seeing the first rotary phone I ever saw was a redial rotary phone. And they were all excited about it. They said, this is the wave of technology. It's got a button right in the middle.
Sounds like alien technology.
Right in the middle of the dial was a button. You just push and it would redial the last number.
Oh,
They were very proud of that.
That was way
phone.
too advanced mojo for me.
It was right there next to their VHS rewinder. It looked like a Corvette.
Speaking of that, I've been seeing the commercials again, and I guess it's for certain people, but I just feel like this is dated technology to me. But you know those phones for when you get old and hard of hearing?
Yeah, the jitterbugs.
Yeah, is that what they're called? The one where they have them now, like at home, where it like puts it on a screen for you to see it, the words.
Oh,
yeah, it's like, and they're marketing it to older people because I think you get it, if you have your with Medicaid or whatever, you can probably get it for a discount or whatever it is. But I guess I get, for people that age that still have home phones, but the problem is most people don't have home phones anymore, do they?
I wouldn't think so.
I don't know anybody that has a home phone.
Of a certain age, if you're,
maybe
you probably still rocking the landline.
But I figured they got better technology, the life alerts and everything, and then
now is this specifically for a home phone?
Yeah, this is to take regular calls.
Okay,
but I feel like a cell phone would do the same thing.
Well, because they've had that for years. It's called teletype. It's like for people who are hard of hearing, they have the
this is
teletype machine.
This is it's kind of, it looks like a business phone, and then it has like a little screen, I guess that gives you a visual of the audio.
I guess if you've ruled that mom or dad is at a point where they shouldn't leave the house, they don't need a cell phone. Yeah, just get them a home phone with the screen.
I guess I just don't think, I didn't realize people still had landlines anymore. I figure.
It definitely feels like tech that from a decade or two ago for sure. But
I just don't know anybody that owns an actual house phone anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't personally know them, but I'm sure they're out there.
Yeah, I don't, and I'm sure there are. I mean, but I don't.
Give it time, Mike. You'll be able to get your phone with the screen soon. I feel like this is a cry for I want one.
No, I don't want one. I really don't. Because the only one that's ever going to call me are marketing people, and I don't really want to talk to them. Or
Now, is it a video screen? Does it allow for video to video chatting?
I don't think so. I think
because I can see
I think it's just the audio translation. I don't think it's like a video call.
I think you and I watch different programming because I feel like Whenever you used to watch,
I always end up like seeing this when I'm end up like on TV Land watching Everyone Loves Raymond or something. That's when
that
I
makes
see
sense.
them.
Whenever I used to watch like Price is Right when I was sick as a kid, that's the only time I'd ever see commercials for like Aspercreme.
Yeah.
You know, it's because they know the target demo.
Oh
I feel like,
yeah. Well, this is one of those commercials that it's targeting.
We're talking to you, Granddad.
Yeah. And I still on occasion see those the life insurance commercials that Alex Trebek used to do.
Oh yeah. Oh, the reverse mortgage and all that.
Yeah, I still see those too in the programming I watch.
Would you like an opportunity to make sure your kids hate you? Reverse mortgage is the way to go.
And the J.G. Wentworth payday settlement.
Say what you will about
cash now.
Say what you will about that commercial. Everybody knows 877 cash now.
He ain't wrong. It's a marketing ploy. I mean, if I ever win the lottery, I'm going to be like, oh, isn't that the cash now guy?
Are you J.G. Wentworth?
It does. You're the opera singers that sing in the bus or the train or whatever, right? Yeah.
That's like looking out a window and seeing like a ice raid or something. Be like, is that Dean Cain? Superman.
Yeah, I love what the actors claim they're going to do things. It's pretty.
Yeah, it feels like Wee Man is a certified sheriff.
Yeah,
I think in like Dade County or something like that. Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal's like a honorary police officer in like 16 different precincts.
I think isn't Sean Penn was getting in rowboats during like Katrina.
Yeah, so Sean Penn's FEMA. he's
he's just getting in the way. He's not actually helping anybody. He's just no. He's out there with a boat.
He's there for moral support.
Let me tell you a story about the time I was on Fast Times at Ridgemont High and how I survived.
It's like bringing Dr. Phil on a raid. He's not going to do anything. He's just there for the
He almost got killed by the cartel goofing around with his stuff. Remember that? He was getting involved with El Chapo?
Yep. There's my cue. To be a chauffeur.
Well, glad you had fun in Hobbs, even if it wasn't doing the thing you wanted to do. Let me give you the rundown and get the show going here. Matt Bristol, patiently waiting through all that from Bristol Law Office. He's going to join us for his monthly visit, as we do each and every time, giving us good legal advice when it comes to business and home and family life. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, we're going to replay our interview we had on Thursday with Crystal Noble from the Humane Society. I got quite a bit of animals looking for adoption. They got some stuff going on at thrift store as well, too. So we'll play that interview for you here in the 8 o'clock hour. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, Mike Taylor, candidate for sheriff, is going to join us. Of course, Mike's been on the show. Of course, he works in his day jobs with the Roswell Police Department. He's been on a few times for that, but he is putting his hat in the ring for Chaves County Sheriff, so he's going to join us in the 9 o'clock hour to talk about why you should vote for him for sheriff. So we'll have that conversation. Plus, we'll do all of the newses of the local, national variety, Wall Street business update, whatever else we can come up with for today's show. But first, your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We could see a few showers or thunderstorms today. A little bit of moist air getting in from the south. We'll be in the mid-90s on the afternoon high. Overnight, scattered showers and thunderstorms around mid-60s on the low, and then sunshine in the morning on Tuesday. About 90 to 95 on the afternoon high. Still that chance of a late-day shower. Sunshine on Wednesday, low 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Looks like the measuring sticks from the National Weather Service aren't working at the moment. I keep getting not available on winds and current temps. But we are looking at a 30% chance at afternoon showers today, mostly sunny and 95, 40% chance at showers tonight, otherwise mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 66, 20% chance of rain for your Tuesday afternoon, mostly sunny and 91. Love these temps. Way better than the ones we had last week. And then Tuesday night, we're looking at a 30% chance at rain. Wednesday, a 20% chance of rain with a high of 94. Thursday, sunny and 98. Friday, sunny and 97, and then rain chances back in the forecast Friday night. Even a 20% Saturday and Sunday as well, with highs in the mid-90s. All right, 7:25, we're going to get you into your Roswell Livestock Report with Smiley Wooten, and then a quick break, and then we will talk with Matt Bristol from Bristol Law Office on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning. This is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A good August run this week with a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality native calves, light yearlings, bred cows. We expect to sell 800 head, breaking down like this: 100, 125 weigh cows and bulls, 100, 125 pairs, bred cows, 550, 600 calves and yearlings today sale will include 25 to 30 cow-calf pairs, mostly excellent quality black white face, Angus and Brangus crossbred cows with good black calves. Pairs 5 to 10 years old, 48 48 bred cows. Bar/Ranch, Adora, New Mexico. Fancy quality black white face, red white face Angus crossbred cows, bred to high quality Charolais and Angus bulls. Good flesh, 3 to 7 years old, mostly 4s to 6s. 17 bred cows and 9 cow-calf pairs. Tail Wag Farms LLC right here at Roswell. Excellent quality black Angus and Brangus crossbred cows, bred to high quality Angus bulls. 6 to 10 years old, 53 calves. Hudson Cattle Company, Deming, New Mexico. Excellent quality black Angus crossbred calves, cattle weaned 30 days. Bovishield Gold, 1 shot, 2 rounds, 7-way, thin condition, 275, 375 pounds. Also from the Hudson Cattle Company, 37 calves. Excellent quality Charolais crossbreds, cattle weaned 30 days. Bovishield Gold 1 shot, 7-way, medium condition, 500, 600 pounds. 60 calves. Azura Cattle Company, Morton, Texas. Excellent quality black Angus calves. Cattle are weaned. 1 round of Bovishield Gold 7-way, medium condition, 350, 575 pounds. 29 calves. J.M. Lutrix, Fabens, Texas. Excellent quality black white face Angus crossbred calves, medium condition, 400, 600 pounds. And 17 calves, the Tail Wag Farms LLC right here at Roswell. Excellent quality black Angus and Brangus crossbred calves, Bovishield Gold 7-way at Brandon, 350, 550 pounds. Sale time this morning be 9 o'clock. Sell pairs bred cows 9:30, 9:45. Be selling calves and yearlings around 10:30. We expect to sell 800 head here today. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Lab.
Hey Roswell, trade up to a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle for less during the final days of the summer clearance event at Roswell Ford. Right now, save big with clearance prices on new Fords with 0% APR and make no payments for 90 days. Your friends at Roswell Ford make upgrading to a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle for less super fun, super fast, and super easy. If you're making payments on your current vehicle and want out early, Roswell Ford will do whatever it takes to free you from your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Roswell Ford has partnered with more aggressive lenders that will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Get huge American-made savings, more for your trade, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, because we'll do whatever it takes to make a deal. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 48 months is $20.83 per thousand finance. Interest accrues from date of sale, subject to lender approval. On select vehicles, offers not combined.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true. Trust.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 29 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning for his monthly visit to always give us good advice, Matt Bristol with Bristol Law Office back. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Mike, and happy anniversary.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, 24 years.
That's awesome.
Going and kicking along here.
So. That is really great that Kim's been able to put up with you that long.
it's not no one else on earth has done it before. she wins an award.
That's right. And for our listeners, the 11th of this month, a few days ago, was Sean Small's birthday.
Sean was Sean celebrated. That's when he went to Hobbs this weekend. He was going to go see some concerts, and that was kind of his birthday.
His birthday gift.
Although it didn't sound like it went according to plan. So.
Well, it could have been worse. Could have been something worse.
Could have been, yeah. There's a lot of things that could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
Very good. But how's your world going?
Good. Took the female scouts and 2 male scouts on a 5-mile map and compass hike this weekend.
Orienteering
for a second class rank.
Good deal.
And so the scouts did really good. Really good.
Second class is they're still relatively new to the scouting program.
Right.
That's second class is like in the first couple ranks in the scout. Usually first year, second year scouts are in that category.
Yeah, you have tenderfoot and then second class.
Second class,
so
and then you
still
get
newbies.
first class.
Yeah.
Star Life, and then the Big Eagle there. But yeah.
So
these are younger scouts that are still making their way in the scouting program.
Oh yeah. These are 13, 14-year-olds
learning the basics,
Uh-huh.
orienteering, camping, things like how to work with their knives and axes, and how to build fires, and how to survive in the outdoors. So and not get lost. That's what they're working on this weekend.
That's what they're working on this weekend, and it's so when you and I were kids, we started fires all the time. We were pyros, but kids today, they spend so much time indoors. They're
limited on it because, like a lot of campgrounds, and especially in our part of the country, they don't allow open flames and things because of environment and
always.
So the opportunity isn't always even there. Where when we were kids, it was pretty much if you're at a campsite, be responsible. But their campfires are allowed everywhere. So.
Yeah, so that's part of it is working with the kids on how to build the fire, which takes the most time, and if you do it properly, then starting that's pretty easy after that.
And it's way different than I don't know if y'all see those commercials for it's one of the insurance and where quit acting like your parents kind of deal. Those commercials series where there's one where there's the one dad building his fire on his grill or whatever, and like 6 others are you're like
huge logs.
Are analyzing how he's doing it all. Like, no, there's not that. We're way better at doing it in scouting.
For sure.
Matter of fact, we'll tell you the different types and when to use the different types and when not to. Why the teepee fire is more beneficial than the log cabin, and when to do it versus the other, and all that. So.
Well, got to teach them different fires to cook different things.
Yeah, exactly. What's your purpose? What's your weather conditions like? All of that matters in that.
Yeah, so listeners, get your kids involved in scouting so they can learn that kind of stuff.
And for the love of God, if you live in New Mexico, please, so they learn orienteering, because you never know in this state. If you're driving around and next thing you know, you might be in a spot where you get lost. We don't live in a city. We live in a very rural country. There are parts of this state that you could literally get lost and not be heard from for days. And and so things like how to navigate, how to orient, mapping compass, obviously emergency preparedness. These things for folks that live here, those are just part of your day of life. That's not just should be something, like I'm going to carry that. No, around here you should.
Yeah, especially when it's 100 degrees. It's winter, and then summer, and then winter gets really cold sometimes.
Absolutely. You could be just making a day trip to Albuquerque and something happens next, someone doesn't get a hold of you for an hour or a day or so. It's possible.
Yep.
And so you got to be prepared for that stuff. And scouting teaches all of that stuff. So
that's right. Always got to have plan B.
So when you don't know how to do it, put your kids in scouting, and then they can learn it and teach you.
Well, as a matter of fact, I did that to the scouts. We were hiking West Mescalero, west of Montana.
Okay.
The pecan orchards, and there's that subdivision. And they were supposed to hike another half mile to an Aspen Street. But I stopped them a half mile short. And I said, okay, here's where we are on the map. Our designated route is to continue west on Mescalero, except last night there was a rain, roads flooded out. What do you do? Figured out. And they did.
Nice.
So I threw a little wrench in there, and the kids handled it well.
We're able to reorient.
Yep. And we go this way and take a different street and turn that. Yeah, absolutely right, kids. So they did a good job.
And then if you really know how to read the map, you can tell and tell you on there, like, okay, well, this way is actually going to be a little easier because it's less strenuous of terrain and everything else or whatever. You know, that's, you know, if you know how to read a map, it'll tell you all that stuff.
Yeah, we had 10 waypoints of compass direction and distance, compass direction and distance. So we had 10 waypoints and ended up in the old airport. That's where we ended up. And then I said, okay, on the map, we're here. And the 11th waypoint or the ending point is here on the map. You tell me the compass bearing and distance.
Nice.
Yeah. So now they had to think about it.
Sure.
So they got a little off course at first. And so then it was like, what do we do now? And I said, well, this is how you fix that. And so we ended up at the right spot. And the kids did a good job.
That's awesome. It does. I remember those days that I was doing it. We were supposed to end up here. We were it's like we weren't even in the same part of the park. Because I remember we did like some of that in parks down in, because I lived at DC area. It wasn't. And so we were in some of those parks. And yeah, I remember same thing. They'd set up courses for us. And the first couple times I was like, I don't think we're going the right way.
It takes practice.
It does. It does. But once you do it, it really, and you never know, it could save your life one day. If you know, even if you don't do this on a regular basis, go camping or hiking, exploring, it could be that one time where, you know, day trip, whatever doesn't go according to plan, and you might need this stuff to save yourself or your family's life or get them to a place where someone can help them. And that's
exactly
all
right.
about that. That's what scouting's about. Be prepared. So, and it's just good life skills, especially for folks that live in this part of the country. It just is.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I know we're probably not talking about what you want to talk about today, but
well,
it was still important. That's always very good sage advice is always there.
Well, I was thinking about, you know, there's a lot of second marriages out there. And, of course, you know, we're community property state, so our community property laws impact second marriages and how those things work.
Sure.
And sometimes, you know, it can be a little tricky. And I know when someone finally finishes the divorce, they get through it, they just kind of want to put it all behind them and go on with their lives, but they really need to go ahead and change the beneficiaries on their life insurance, their 401k. You get a new will kind of done. So here's an interesting thing. So we had a state law, or there was a state law, that says if Mike gets divorced, but he still has Kim as beneficiary on his 401k, that doesn't work because you got divorced, and you probably didn't really mean to leave her on the 401.
Right.
Which kind of makes sense, right?
Sure.
So somebody challenged that, and they said, well, wait a minute, there's this ERISA Act, a federal law from 1972 about Employment Retirement Income Security Act. And since the feds have spoken on the subject, then federal law preempts state law on that issue. And so under federal law, if you have left your ex-wife on the 401, she still gets it.
She's entitled.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you want to do that, fine. But if you don't want to do that, it's time to change.
So the moral lesson here is, if make sure your 401k is still set up to go to who you want it to go to.
Absolutely.
Especially if you are in a second or, God forbid, third marriage or so forth.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Or you get into Elizabeth Taylor territory.
Yeah. Ooh, let's talk about the Black Widow.
Talk about confusing will.
So let's see. So let's say husband owns a house pre-marriage, gets married second time, does not add wife to the house. A few years later, husband dies, no will. Leaves some adult children. So the house is his sole and separate property, owned at pre-marriage. But who gets the house?
Well, I guess it probably depends on the state.
Well, New Mexico.
Okay, because it's funny you mentioned this.
Oh, yes. Continue.
In Texas, I saw a very similar situation where a woman remarried the man. The man, they lived in his property, which was his name, under his name on the lake there and all that. He died. And in the will, the house and the property went to the kids. She still lived there. She left. She had to leave, and she didn't. The kids took the property. She was out of luck. So I'm going to say.
Well, in that case, he had a will.
Yeah, I think to my knowledge, yes.
Yeah. What if our guy dies with no will?
With no will? Well, then I think she has rights at that, or the spouse has rights at that point. So.
Well, in New Mexico, when you die without a will, you're intestate, not testate. You don't have a last will and testament.
Yeah.
But the sole and separate property gets divided 1/4 to the surviving spouse and 3/4 to the children.
Okay, so she gets a quarter, basically.
So she gets a quarter.
All right.
And if the husband, intended that, that's fine. But now the adult children have to buy out the second wife, the stepmom. And they may have a good relationship. They may not.
Sure.
But is that what Dad wanted? Hard to know.
So if you don't want that, get a will. And make sure it's up to date.
Make sure, yes. Because if you don't have a plan, guess what? The state has a plan for you.
Yeah, and it may not be what you want it to be.
May not be.
Yeah. And the people you intended to protect may not get the protections you're hoping that they were getting.
That's right.
Yep.
So let's say husband owns house pre-marriage, marries second wife.
Okay.
Adds second wife to the deed. And then a few years later, husband and wife file for divorce. What happens to the house?
He put her name on the deed. Therefore, she is part owner of that house. Therefore, she's fully entitled to the rights, I would think.
Well, it's funny you should say that because in New Mexico, it depends.
Okay.
So it depends on husband's testimony. So at the time, what was your intent, husband? And, 99% of the time it's, estate planning. If I died, I wanted my surviving spouse to get the house.
Right.
But it was not my intent to give away the house. Rather, the intent was estate planning, not a gift. And so a spouse can testify to that effect and keep the house. And they've had cases where 40 years later, husband and wife file for divorce.
Wow.
40 years ago, wife put husband on the investment accounts, and now when they're 60s, they're getting divorced, and she says, "No, I never meant to give it to him. It was just estate planning." And the court says, "Oh, well, if that's the case, wife, you get to keep your sole and separate property."
That's a stinging blow.
Yeah, so
I would hope
it depends.
After that long of marriage, they'd be a little more amicable and help each other out a bit, but I guess legally they don't have to, huh?
Yeah. So, So if in a second marriage situation, if, husband owns the house, if he wants the wife to get it, then he can do what's called a transfer on death deed. So it transfers on his death to second wife.
Gotcha.
But if she's not around, then it can go to his kids. So sometimes he can say, I give a life estate in the house to second wife, remainder to the kids. So second wife can stay in the house, and he can stipulate as long as she's doesn't remarry, doesn't cohabitate, and is not gone for more than 90 days at a time. And if on 91 days, reverts to the kids. So he can provide for the second spouse a place to live,
okay,
but ultimately the house goes to the children.
Gotcha. She can hold the fort down until such time as the kids, that she doesn't need it anymore, basically.
Yeah, so she's got a place to stay as long as she wants.
Gotcha.
But if she goes in a nursing home, then it goes down to the kids.
Makes sense. Interesting.
Yeah.
But, again, talk to the lawyers about this stuff, because if you don't do it right, that's pretty crazy. So they could end up by even after years of being together, and you know what I mean. That would be amazing. That would blow me away if hear a story like that of, 40 years of marriage and a divorce, and one is pretty just because of that. It's crazy. But anyway.
Well, it's kind of wild if you think about it. But then if you think about it some more, it makes sense.
Sure.
The reason is you put the spouse on was in the event you die as a married couple and estate planning.
I guess I'm just thinking from the emotional perspective, like, how could someone be together 40 years and still have that much hate? Like, you know what I mean? I figure if you're like that animosity, why did you? But anyway, that's not a legal question. That's a philosophical.
Well, it may not be hate, just maybe a money issue.
Yeah, I don't know. I could not imagine being that mad at someone that I've been with for 40 years that I do that. Even at the end of the day, I'm like, look, I'm not going to, I don't know. It's just, that's another debate. It's not a legal thing. It's just in my head, I'm like,
it's just stuff.
It's like a whole life of just wrongness right there.
Well, I think, when people marry young and they're 20 years old, they really don't know who they are on the inside.
And unfortunately, people,
and they do grow apart.
Yeah. But I also think people, sometimes one part of the relationship will get dependent on the other, and they feel a need to stay not out of love, but out of comfort or accustomed to the lifestyle they're in. You know what I mean? Like they're afraid to be on their own kind of thing. And so, but that's, I don't know. But anyway, I'm getting off track. I'm just trying to wrap my head around 40 years of marriage and then doing something. But anyway.
Okay. So, second marriage, husband gets a Social Security check that goes into his own little savings account.
Okay.
So it's not part of the joint checking. It's his separate savings. And he puts payable on death on the savings account, POD, to his adult child of the first marriage. Husband dies.
Mm-hmm.
So now wife says, well, it's the savings account is POD to the child of the first marriage, but isn't that community property? I mean, don't I get my half? He can't give away my half of the community property, can he?
Well,
so what's the answer?
I'm trying to see how that works because it's Social Security checks.
It's the key.
And so upon death, usually a spouse can claim the spouse's Social Security checks, right? Like to continue to get them, don't they?
Yeah, but that's a non-issue.
Okay. I feel like there is a caveat where she has a loophole in there on some of that because of Social Security here.
Social Security is considered sole and separate property.
Okay. So there it is. She's out.
She's out.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know, not sure why that's considered sole and separate, but in a 40-year marriage, your income, her Social Security is her sole and separate, and his Social Security is his sole and separate.
Yeah, I got to think about that, why it is, because I was thinking because it's based on what income you put in, but if you're filing jointly, isn't that technically joint income you're filing it on those numbers? So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's above my brain.
That's just a little quirk. That's just a little quirk.
Yeah.
But the wife is correct, is that the husband cannot give away her half of the community estate. It's just that in this particular case, it was Social Security.
That's
so
not
it's all
community.
separate.
That's a personal or savings.
Yeah. So the husband in his will could leave his half of the community stuff to kids from prior marriage, but he can't give away wife's half of the community property.
Gotcha.
Because he doesn't own it. She does.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Point of all this, get it right the first time.
Get it right the first time. And learn to say, I'm sorry and I love you.
Yes. Don't get married unless you're ready for the long haul.
That's it. That's it. So something I found is if there's an argument you're having with your spouse, disagreement, and if your goal is to win the argument, then you just sacrifice the relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You just put the argument ahead of the relationship.
Yeah.
And that ain't going to last long.
Put it this way. There's a lot of people that are alone that are right. They're sitting on that hill all by themselves. You're right, but You ain't got no friends. You ain't got no one around you.
That's right. Yeah.
You can sit up there in your rightness.
You can be as lonely as you want, but by gosh, you're right.
Yeah, it's a hard lesson to swallow, especially when, but it is nonetheless. And that's marriage in a nutshell. It's
it's friendships as well.
Absolutely. It's give and take. It's no different than a business or a band, I mean, a lot of businesses end the same way.
That's right.
Yeah.
They forget the customers always, right? And
which is why we always talk about those LLCs and partnerships and why it's important to delineate what it is and live by the rules that you're supposed to live by when it comes to that stuff. Because if it doesn't,
indeed,
it's the one thing that protects you when things go south.
Yep.
And if you don't do it right, then it's not protecting you. Same thing with marriage here. With the wills and all that. If you don't do it right, you're not getting the protections you think you are, and it's, talking about intent, what you think you're doing and what you're doing, you can't. That's why when it comes to wills and that type of stuff, it is a good idea to sit down and talk with a lawyer so you can do exactly what and so when you're done with that will, you have a clear, concise understanding of what's going to happen.
Exactly.
If you drop dead tomorrow and where your stuff's going.
Exactly. I can't tell you how many people come to the office and said, well, my friend said, or I heard, and well, I thought, and it's like, no.
Yeah. And the problem is the advice you got from someone may be right where they live, but if they don't live where you live, it may, you know what I mean? And that's just it. What they do in Texas is not the same as what they do in New Mexico, or what they do in Oklahoma is not the same as they do here. And so what applies there, and New Mexico is, weirdly enough, we're the exception to the rule in a lot of weird things. You just be like, oh, yeah, well, everyone does it this way, except New Mexico. They do it this way. And so just saying, you got to pay attention to that.
We're one of 8 community property states, and so everybody else does it a little differently. But, if you already have an attorney, great. Make an appointment. Go talk to them about wills, or if it's going to be your second marriage, what about a prenup?
Yeah.
Make sure everybody's taken care of.
Have a plan and talk about it. I get it. But I've just found that when you look for healthcare advice or legal advice on an app, you're not getting the best advice always. Just my own personal history and stuff. So if you're trying to do your taxes or your wills through some little app, you get what you pay for. That's all I'm just telling you on that stuff. And if you're trying to provide something that important and that big a deal that you want to ensure, maybe you want to have someone that really knows what they're doing as opposed to an app taking a look at what you got going on.
Yeah, had somebody come in. They got a will online, and filled it out and downloaded it and wanted me to look over it. And I said, I'll look it over. I mean, I'm not a snob.
Sure.
And so I said, do you realize nowhere in here does it say, I, Mike Winters, hereby make this will?
Mm-hmm.
That language didn't appear anywhere.
And so right out the gate, you're kind of like,
so what is this?
Yeah.
So little things like that, it's so get some good advice. And I'm not the only good attorney in town. There's a lot of good attorneys in town. So if you've got a good attorney, go talk to them about this stuff.
This is certain things you should let professional handle, and especially when you have these kind of moments in life. There's things that all of us need to do to prepare for whatever's next at some point. Those are not the things you just want to trust with something haphazardly. Talk to someone you trust. Because unfortunately, there's too many quote unquote experts out there that will steer you wrong if you don't. And they're not doing it with the intent to hurt you. They just don't know any better either.
Yeah. Just ask. Next time your neighbor says, "Oh, blah blah blah," just ask them where they went to law school.
Exactly.
Because it may not be that way.
Yeah, and so that's why if you call somebody, call Matt, and I'll tell you right now, Matt will be happy to sit down, talk with you, and sit down, and he'll be happy to tell you, this is going to be a little more involved, and we need to talk about it, or he'll be like, just fill this form out, go to the clerk's office, and you're done. Either way, he's going to give you the straight scoop on that.
Yeah, we will. I'm a firm believer. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
He's not going to create work just to get paid, kind of thing. Which he's not going to Better Call Saul you.
There you go.
Sorry, I just got done watching that thing. It's been still fresh in my brain. But please reach out to Matt in Bristol Law Office, and if you got anything family law, or if you need to set up a free business, a partnership, or LLC, if you got to deal with setting up family planning like your wills, or God forbid dealing with the bad sides, the divorces and all that, talk to Matt and let him steer you right.
Even if you're newlyweds and you don't think you have any money to worry about making a will about, once you have kids, you need a will, because just like that TV commercial is, it's not good enough if it's not in writing, if it's not in the will.
Once kids enter the equation, your will thing went from it's a good idea to you better get it.
Better get one, yeah.
Because the moment they're born, there's a lot bigger pictures than just you and the spouse there at that point.
Yep. So BristolLawOffice.net or 625-5284.
We do got about 3-4 minutes if we want to do a little fact.
So this, I just love, where do words come from kind of stuff. And so one interesting word is, so Mike early one morning decides to go out back with his cup of coffee and enjoy the morning air.
Okay.
And there's this thing in the yard. Just fell from the sky or something.
Oh, it was like, did the dog leave it or?
Something fell from the sky. We don't know what it is. There's this object.
Okay.
And so it's like, holy moly, what is this thing? And so our instinct is to kind of walk around it and look at it to see if we can figure out what this thing is, right?
Sure. Yeah. Investigate a little bit.
Investigate, look at it from different angles, go all the way around it, maybe back the other way to see what you're looking at. So so someone who walks on their feet is called a...
Who walks on their feet?
Someone walking up and down the street is a pedestrian.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Gotcha.
All right. So ped means foot.
All right.
So it's just like a podiatrist, except the vowel's a little different. But
sure.
A pedestrian is someone who's walking on their feet. And if you walk around it, encircle it, another word for circle is cycle, like bicycle, tricycle. Okay. It's got 3 round things on it. So if you encircle it on your feet, you encyclopedia. Because you're on your feet and you're circling it. That's where the word encyclopedia comes from. Is you're walking around something trying to figure out what the heck is this thing.
Yeah, okay.
And that's where who came up with that?
So it's a bit of volumes of circle around trying to learn these things.
Yeah, so I just thought that's a fascinating word.
Kids, encyclopedias were these things when we were kids. This is where we learned everything before the internet. Before we had the phone and a computer, we went to either, depending if you had a salesman knock on your door, they would come and sell you these books. But if not, you had to go to the library and check them out.
So instead of the website Wikipedia, we had actual physical books, and we could look this stuff up.
And then, but the library had all the different ones. So if you wanted World Book, or if you wanted, let me try to remember. There was about 6 or 8 different ones that were, pretty much universally known.
Yeah, and there was that
Britannica.
Oh, that was awesome. Awful. Britannica was just awful.
Yeah, the World Book Encyclopedia.
World Book, we even had children's encyclopedias.
Yeah,
I used to read those for fun.
Oh yeah, I would. I did so many projects. So many maps I had recreated out of encyclopedia for, here is the, this is the, I remember we were doing states or something. And I remember, we each got picked states, and I did a map of all of the resources and products. This is the resources that this state has. It's corn. I remember having to draw these maps, and they're basically the ones you pulled out of the encyclopedia. And they got a little cow here, so this part of the state is dairy.
Well, cool.
But very good. That's cool. I never put those two together. So I'm gonna.
Yeah, I always thought that was interesting.
Now I want to start a private detective agency and call it some kind of encyclopedia or something, or gumshoe encyclopedia or something. Good deal. Of course, BristolLawOffice.net. .net.
.net
is the resource you can go and set up a consultation with Matt. Like I said, he'll sit down and talk to you and tell you if you need to spend money or if this is just a simple thing. But before, and please don't, when it comes to estate planning, like, family planning, these big, maybe talk to a real person as opposed to
your neighbor or your drinking buddy or the guy who drives the garbage
this
truck.
Hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason.
Well, we're learning AI does some things very poorly. It creates hallucinations.
Yes.
Be careful using it.
Everything is. It'll get better. It's just not there yet. You know what I mean? Like, we're seeing the infancy of these things. It's kind of like I'm willing to guess.
At a news conference
The
Sunday,
first cars,
Israeli
those
Prime
weren't
Minister
humdingers
Benjamin
either. The first couple
Netanyahu
that came out,
defended a military expansion in
I'm not
Gaza, saying Israel has no choice
know what
but
I
to finish the job.
We had
and
the state
complete
bar
defeat of
a week or so
Hamas.
ago and took 2 classes on AI stuff.
Our goal is
and so the limited purposes of AI can be extremely useful.
Yeah.
But once you start going outside that and expect it to actually have intelligence, it does not.
Yep. But it'll get better. So. Thank you, Matt. As always, we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Mike. Happy anniversary.
Thank you. 8 o'clock, you're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico.
Thursday, the president directed an increased federal law enforcement presence.
You're going to be safe walking down streets. You're not going to get mugged.
On True Social Sunday, the president criticized the district as full of tense squalor, filth, and crime, and seems to have been set off by the attempted carjacking and beating of Edward Korestein, a 19-year-old former Doge technology staffer now working for the Social Security Administration. Police caught and arrested 2 15-year-olds as the crime was happening and said they were looking for a group of others. And over the weekend, FBI agents in flak jackets were seen patrolling the lively U Street corridor. Jennifer King, Washington.
Flash flooding canceled the final day of the Wisconsin State Fair yesterday as continued heavy rainfall in half a dozen Midwest states led to water rescues, power outages, and roads were closed. Investigators working to determine the cause of the Sunday house fire that killed 4 children and 2 adults in Waldorf, Maryland. Watching Wall Street, the Dow 13 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
One very determined rail passenger riding a high-speed train in Austria is wound up in a heap of trouble.
The man, a 24-year-old Algerian, is reported to have got off the train to have a cigarette at the station when the doors closed without him. A passenger said the man grabbed onto the train and climbed into the space between 2 carriages. He then began banging on the windows, and the driver made an emergency stop. Austrian media said the man was arrested when the service arrived in Vienna. A railway official said such an action usually ended up with someone dying, with the man putting both himself and others in danger.
The BBC's Orlando Teal. Philippine President Marcos says his country will inevitably be drawn kicking and screaming in any war over Taiwan because of its close proximity and the presence of large numbers of Filipino workers on the self-ruled island. Townhall.com. Fender bender in Atlanta.
Delta says one of its planes clipped another aircraft while pushing back from the gate in Atlanta over the weekend. The airline says the wing of the plane reportedly made contact with an empty aircraft. That flight was scheduled to travel from Atlanta to Guatemala City. Passengers were transferred to another plane following a slight delay. No injuries were reported. Jason Walker reporting.
London police say a total of 532 people were arrested over the weekend when supporters of a pro-Palestinian group that recently was outlawed as a terrorist organization in the UK intentionally broke the law to test the government's ability to enforce the ban. The vast majority of those detained arrested for displaying signs declaring their support for the group in violation of UK anti-terror laws. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2. The deuce. Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. Happy Monday. Happy anniversary to my lovely wife.
And happy anniversary to you.
Yeah. So.
She's obviously off hard at work, educating young minds.
Slaying the dragon.
Mm-hmm. I saw
keeping me in the life I'm accustomed to.
That's right. Keeping me in my fineries. I also saw over the weekend, and this is a less friendly anniversary, but it was also the anniversary of your wife's hospitalization. And
matter of fact, our anniversary we celebrated in the hospital that year. I remember. Actually, what I remember doing was because I knew I was going to be there for a minute. I feel like our anniversary fell like on a Wednesday or something that year. It was in the middle of the week, and so I spent a lot of time living at the hospital.
Right.
There. And so they had flowers like in the they had like a little, and so I asked him, I was like, well, like how often are those? And he goes, oh, we get new ones. I was like, great. I was like, my wife's anniversary in a couple days, and so they actually set one aside for me.
Nice.
And so I went and had arrangements and got her flowers. She kind of remembered. Unfortunately, they didn't come home with us because it was. But anyway, yeah, that was
it's definitely a way to brighten up.
That was one of my actually more memorable anniversaries. That was that one. Not necessarily. I mean, not as all bad as you would think.
Right.
Like, yes, despite the fact.
Well, and it's
because at that point, by the time the anniversary was happening, we were kind of had a like she's gonna be all right.
Yeah,
it's gonna be.
There's a better prognosis of what was to come,
so,
and that puts your mind at ease. But also, in those times of severe heaviness, that little bit of levity means so much more.
Well, and that's to put it this way, we're married 24 years because of moments like that.
Absolutely,
that's what.
Because you come together when each of you needs each other.
Yes, so in terms of pleasant memories or something like I wouldn't. But as far as one of the more memorable and at the end of the day, weirdly enough, better anniversaries.
Yeah, sure.
That was
because it stands out. It's
despite the adversity, we took a minute to celebrate ourselves.
It's cemented in your
here
memory.
For 24 after, wondering if we're going to make it to. I guess that would have been what 2021 or 22. I can't remember how many years has it been.
It's been
I'm so bad.
2 years.
I'm so bad at the time thing.
I want to say it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But the part that Mike's telling you about with the flowers, that's the part. The radio friendly part. What he's not telling you is since they had set up residence at the hospital, they actually gave Mike access to the gowns.
Yeah.
And so Mike gave Kim a gown dance.
Yeah. Well, they kept saying, the tie goes in the back, dude.
Oh, for God's sakes, Mike. Oh, God, dang.
It's like, you don't even need to wear it.
thought it was a cape. Superman.
Yeah, they kept saying, you don't need to wear that, sir.
But you're not saying I can't, right? You're just saying I don't need to.
Yeah, it's not a
There's
need.
nowhere in the rule book that says a dog can't play basketball, all right? Sometimes it's about what the rule book doesn't say.
That's right. It's funny because you like walk into an empty room. It's like, I was going to catch a nap. They don't, you get along and they don't say nothing for an hour before they realize maybe that guy's not supposed to be there. They see a guy in a bed and a gown. They think they're supposed to be there.
What's worse is you wake up hooked up to machines.
Right.
You're like, when did this happen?
Yeah. Next thing I woke up with, my pants unbuttoned. No. Sorry, I went jerky boys on you. But excuse me. Is that an image?
Got you right there.
Got me in the feels.
Got you all verklempt.
Got me in the feels. But yeah, that was that. But that being said, yes, not most ideal time.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, that was a little bit more special.
It's a proving ground. It's
anniversary.
It's proof that your relationship has been literally through the best of times and the worst of times.
Yeah, absolutely.
The blurst of times too.
So we only got about 5 minutes because I got like a long interview, like a 38-minute interview. So we need to get. But I do want to hear about your weekend.
Honestly,
other than the fact that Midland sucked, what else happened?
We spent time at the fair. We found some amazing. We went back to the fair the next day just to get cookies. To be fair, just to get cookies because we found this place inside of their commercial building that had these amazing cookies. So we basically bought out their whole stock. And other than that, it was and my kid's mom was like, "So what did you do?" I'm like, I enjoyed the company of my friends and we had a really good time. It was just it's always fun when myself and Jocelyn and Misty and my friend Pam, we get together. There's something to laugh about. There's always something to, or it's just us dying, sweating, sitting at the fair in the concourse of the fair, just trying to figure out, do we leave now? Have we been here long enough?
What's the acceptable amount of time?
Can we go find somewhere with air conditioning now?
Now, did you eat like any? I mean, I know you did get the heartburn, but did you find any unique fair foods that
nothing standout unique? Although I will say, and I didn't try any of it, but from the smell of it, the barbecue game was on point.
I figured
out there. There was some definite smoke happening out there.
I don't know if they had like various weird fried things, fried Oreos or fried.
I'm sure if I'd dug hard enough, they have fried everything Hostess,
fried butter or whatever it is.
Which you knock it, but fried butter not too bad.
Yeah, it's just there's so many better things to fry.
Yeah.
Like I ain't gonna lie, those guys that put that pizza on a stick and fry it, I want to try one of those.
It's not an ingenious move. It's basically just a gigantic pizza roll, but
I know
I'm not mad about it.
But you put it on a stick, and it's like chicken. Like chicken fingers, fine. You put it on a stick, it's a party. I don't know why.
That is fair.
But and ain't nothing better than a fair corn dog that's like 1 foot long.
Oh yeah,
I love those. It's like it's just more corn dog
when they're handed. Although I will say this was a little upsetting. There was one of the stands had an advertisement for the foot-long corn dog, and a friend of mine ordered it, and it was about yay long. I think they were including the stick. I don't know. I was a little like, that's not foot long.
I've got a statement, but it's not radio friendly.
I know. It was plenty. All right. I'm just saying, you can't include the stick in your measurement of a food.
I think you started the tape measure in the back, way in the back.
Way in the back.
Back by the hole.
But overall, a good experience. Got to enjoy a fiddle contest.
Nice.
Yeah, or the remnants of one. I guess the finals of it.
The part where they hit each other with them.
That's a fun instrument to just watch somebody play. With the fiddle. Have you ever seen them? Violin, sure, but I'm talking about like when you get down, throw some sawdust on the ground and get fiddle playing. That's a fun instrument.
I always enjoyed going to the Flying J Ranch when they do their show, and the lady that's in the band, that's the fiddler. She's like some championship fiddler. Like she's won a bunch of fiddle contests and stuff. And yeah, she gets after it.
Yeah,
I've seen her. And equally impressive is the yodeling that the wife does, and she's like a championship yodeler. Different thing, but equally impressive.
Yep. Same thing with hog calling. I'm always impressed by your prowess with sueys and whatnot.
Yes.
But
that's an Oklahoma thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, totally. Very much. That and noodling. But yeah, no. Overall, it was a good experience. And I will say this: their fairgrounds is enormous.
Got a big one?
It is insane how large their facilities are. Like there's the big staging area right in the middle. You have all your like commercial building, the livestock pavilion, there's the rodeo stuff behind it, and then the entire midway on the other side. So I mean it goes for like a half mile.
Oh wow.
This thing is huge. And I think they said I didn't see this year's numbers, but last year was 107,000 people in all attended the fair. So I'm like,
wow.
And I'll vouch for it. There was a sea of humanity. That was the best part, was just sitting up high in the bleachers and people watching.
That's why they can bring in Miranda Lambert, bigger names. You
Oh
know.
yeah, that and I think they said they had like a $2.9 million budget just for entertainment.
That'll do it too.
Yeah. You throw enough money at somebody, they'll show up.
That's right. I'll show up.
So I'm gonna start saying it now. I want Weird Al for Lee County Fair 2026. Let's make it happen.
That would be cool.
That would be awesome.
That'd be good. That'd be good. All right, let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. That'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
That would be good.
All
right. We're going to get you up to date with the weather here in just a bit. I may or may not have the temperatures, depending on that thing at the airport. But anyway, we'll do the weather. Then we're going to play our interview we had on Thursday with Crystal Noble from the Humane Society. Gave us an update on some of the pets available and sales and what have you going on at Thristo. And so we'll play that interview for you here in just a bit.
Indeed.
Before we do that, it's weather time. Weather time.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We could see a few showers or thunderstorms today. A little bit of moist air getting in from the south. We'll be in the mid-90s on the afternoon high. Overnight, scattered showers and thunderstorms around mid-60s on the low, and then sunshine in the morning on Tuesday. About 90 to 95 on the afternoon high. Still that chance of a late-day shower. Sunshine on Wednesday, low 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, don't have the temps. It's got a big NA next to it for the National Weather Service here. Same with humidity. It does say winds are currently out of the south at 8 miles per hour, but we do have a 30% chance at some showers and thunderstorms after 3 today, mostly sunny. Otherwise, and a high of 95 with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, we're looking at a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 66 degrees with southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. 20% chance of rain for your Tuesday afternoon, mostly sunny and 91 otherwise, north winds at around 5 miles per hour. 30% chance of rain tomorrow night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 67. 20% chance of rain for Wednesday afternoon, mostly sunny and 94 for a high. Thursday, mostly sunny and 98. Friday, mostly sunny and 97. And then more rain chances for the weekend. 20% chance of rain Saturday, otherwise partly cloudy and 95. 20% on Sunday as well, mostly sunny, high of 95. All right, 8:18. We're going to take about a 2-minute break. Then we're going to play our interview with Crystal from the Humane Society. Don't go away.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Who doesn't think the dentist is a big deal? I know what you're thinking. What will they find? How much will it hurt? What are my options? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher, and I am here to tell you that here at Carabelli Dental, it is our job to put you at ease. With options like sedation dentistry, you can rest assured that regardless of what dental work you might need, you can get it done while resting comfortably. Call our office now and speak to our knowledgeable staff about setting up your new patient appointment.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455.
Get a great deal on versatile Kubota equipment today, like the Kubota L-Series compact tractor, the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S., Z-Series mowers, and Sidekick utility vehicles. Stop by your local Kubota dealer today. Right now, get select L2502 series for as low as $21,999 or $325 per month. Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Visit your local Kubota dealer, Amigo Machinery at 2801 Southeast Main Street in Roswell.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits for the astronauts. Here's Mike Winters.
Studio this morning from the Humane Society here in Roswell. Crystal Noble back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good. I'm Googling the thing we were just talking about.
Yes, she's going to show me a thing. But, of course, for folks not familiar, the Humane Society is home to many animals. Okay, that's weird.
But I don't know if I'm coordinated for that.
Well, if you are, I'd like to watch you utilize that piece of equipment. That would be entertaining. But
we will see.
She has a procedure coming up, and so she's going to need some follow-on equipment to get mobile. So, but anyway, for folks not familiar, Humane Society is a no-kill shelter that finds homes for displaced pets. And they do so through the shelter. They have a thrift store that is there to support for all the financial costs of taking care of said animals and things like that. But through the generosity of donations and through people donating and purchasing from the thrift store, that keeps the doors open and the pets fed and taken care of till they find their forever homes.
It does.
So that's what it is.
We do kind of have a need for both sides right now for the thrift store and the kennels. We were donated an upright freezer so that way we could do like the frozen maize bowl treats for the dogs for enrichment. Cool. Well, the freezer that was donated to us has gone out.
Oh, it's gone kaput.
It said bye-bye.
All right.
And then we have to store the vaccinations in refrigerators. And so our refrigerator is kind of on its last limb, which I think the date on the back of that refrigerator is like 1978 or something.
So it's due for, although those things kept things so cold.
Yes, very cold.
They weren't the most environment friendly compared to today's standards.
If anybody happens to have a spare refrigerator that they're not using,
they want to donate one to the Humane Society,
or freezer, we would gladly appreciate it.
Yeah.
That way we're able to keep normal stock of vaccinations, because right now I'm only able to keep a few inside a tiny fridge.
Yeah.
And it costs more when you have to order small amounts more often.
So you're costing more money to do this. And so if we can get one that's more, house size or commercial grade size, that would be great. And even the freezers as well, like for the dog treats, whatever. And I'm guessing even if you have like one of those chest freezers, that would be probably whatever you got.
It would be fine, because basically all we're doing is getting the maize bowls and their food and then putting like a little beef broth with it, some yogurt, and then a little bit of water, and then freezing it. So that way when they're eating, it's giving them brain stimulation to help keep them occupied.
Plus, when it's probably hot out, they like a cool treat.
It is very hot.
Yeah.
Very hot.
Yeah. And even with the recently renovated air conditioning and stuff, it's, when it gets 107, it's hot in there. So
it's hot regardless, with or without, because it's swamp coolers and they only do a 15-degree difference.
Yeah,
so when it's 115, it's 100.
Yeah.
So, and dogs naturally run hotter than we do anyways, so their temperatures are elevated.
Yeah. I love a good Siberian Husky too, but it's kind of cruel to have one living here.
It is. St. Bernards are another breed that have a really bad coat. Chows.
Yeah.
They're just not desert
They're cold
friendly.
weather. Yeah, they're cold weather dogs. That's what it, that's just how they're built.
I am cold weather human, but unfortunately, I live in the desert.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story. But
It is.
but yeah. So if someone's got refrigerators, freezers, But always donations of kitty litter. That's a standing order. Again, every time if you'd like to donate kitty litter, please do not waste money on the fancy schmancy stuff. If you're buying it new, just buy the clump, that big old cement package, that 40-pound bag of the non-clumping, just sand litter, basically.
Tractor Supply occasionally has the bags on sale for like $5 for the 50-pound bag.
Okay.
So, and it's just Paws and Claws clay cat litter.
Yeah, nothing fancy.
Nothing fancy. Because we dispose of it sometimes multiple times a day. Sometimes,
now,
if they don't make too big of a mess, it goes that once a day.
Now, say you have a cat you've lost or whatever, and you've got leftover food and litter and stuff, and it is the fancy, the cat pees, and I can tell what it had, what its ancestors did. We use that for.
We do save that stuff. Because there are times where, an animal is having, or a cat, not just an animal, but is having like an issue. And so we'll be like, okay, so are you having bladder stones, urinary tract infection, bladder infection? And that does help us. We don't use that every day. We only use it when we have a need.
Well, imagine when you get, because like you get cats that come in and you don't know a thing about them health-wise. And if they appear sickly, then you can say, all right, well, let's monitor their pee. And the color code at least give us a place to start, you know, and that kind of thing, or, and so it's used for those occasions. So don't go buy it, but if you happen to have it and you don't need it anymore, bring it on by. They will definitely use it. But for the everyday, day-to-day stuff, that cheapo stuff, because they literally fill like those old Coke boxes, and they throw them out at the end of the day because of health and safety. You don't want to reuse the litter boxes, so we don't. Because they're communal. We don't want to spread disease, germs, and any time you're using things like that, that adds that factor. So that's why they don't want nothing expensive. It's literally going out
and
for good.
If, you're wanting to get something that can be used for cats and dogs, bleach is always a good go-to. Pine Sol is always a good go-to.
Cleaning supplies.
Dawn dish soap is always a good go-to.
Even like mops and buckets and brooms. Those, they go through those pretty quick too.
Unfortunately, yes, we do.
Yeah.
But if, you have extra and you want to donate, we would greatly appreciate it. Any donations help.
Yeah, they'll get used. They get do. Some, it's, and then if you do want to bring like foods and things, avoid the red dye. That's the big one. You don't have to go buy the high-end dog foods, but the ones, look for the ones with the red dye. That's what they try to steer clear of. I know there's a Pedigree brand.
Pedigree chicken flavor is typically the most that we feed.
Yeah.
Just because it's most cost effective.
Yeah, it doesn't have the red dye, but it's not the cost of the blue buffaloes and all the high end stuff.
It's not the best dog food, but it's also not the worst dog food. It's down in the middle, so.
It's cheap and healthy.
Yes, that's a nice way to put it. We and then for the cats, we use just like the Purina cat chow, the blue bag or the green bag.
Yeah.
You get, I don't know, like 24 pounds or whatever the big bag is for like $20. It's not super expensive, and cats don't eat as much as dogs, so that lasts us a lot longer than what people would think.
Does canned food at all ever get useful?
We do in the mornings. What we do when we're feeding the cats, as long as we don't have any stool issues, they get a teaspoon or so of canned food as a treat.
Sure.
Because cats are very infamous for not drinking enough water, and so the canned food helps put the moisture into the body that they need.
And it's not a bad idea to mix the two together sometimes for cats and dogs. Not maybe every day, but every once in a while, because you don't want to feed a dog wet food all the time because they're going to have dental issues.
And it'll do the same thing to cats.
Yeah.
So that's why we offer like a small amount, like, the little 4-ounce cans. That
look
like
those little fancy feasts or whatever. Yeah.
So we'll cut that into 8s. Okay. And then each cat will get an 1/8 of that can.
That's another pro tip. Never give a pet a full can of these things. Otherwise, it'll end up on your floor and puke. Usually not, especially dogs, but cats will do it too.
Yes.
You lay down like that big can of Fancy Feast and walk away, guarantee there's a pile of puke laying on the thing a little later on.
Yep. Because they will gorge themselves on things that they don't have regularly.
They won't stop until, so you've got to be their governor.
Yes. it's just like a child. You know, you don't give a child a whole cake. You give them a slice of the cake, because if you give them the whole thing, what are they going to do?
And the faster you wolf it down, the faster it's going to end up on your floor. That's the other.
Yes. We do have quite a bit of large dogs still. I know everybody's like, oh, large dogs, they cost a lot of money. But we do have a lot of them that are still looking for homes. We have Shadow, who's been there almost 2 years.
They're great companion dogs. If you're looking, like, especially if you're a single person and you're kind of, I mean, even if you're a couple, whatever, but, you know, if you're looking for a real companion, I'm just saying, I'm not trying to poo-poo little dogs, but generally speaking, big dogs are going to be the one that is your partner in crime and things. You know what I mean?
I've discovered your word of the day. Poo-poo.
You know, something about, you know, a big, a larger dog, you know, or medium-sized dog, one that, you know, you don't have to carry in your purse or under your arm. They tend to, you know, they'll partner in your lifestyle. They'll start liking the things you like. You'll be amazed at
well, and
what
then
happens.
a lot of the times, you know, if you are a very active person, family, and you like to go out and do things, sometimes the little dogs just don't have the get up and go to keep up with that.
Sure. They're great for around the house. They're great, you know.
Yeah, we have a little dog, and, you know, she burns out quickly.
Mm-hmm.
However, she naps, and then she's ready to go again.
Yeah.
But, like, if we were to take the dogs for a walk, I would end up having to carry her, or John would, halfway through because she couldn't keep up.
Yeah. And then they want to, and they try.
Right.
But and then the other thing, when people think of bigger dogs, they think of, well, protecting my family and all that. Treat those dogs like a member of the family, and you don't have to train them to do any of the security thing. That will take care of itself. And if you treat the dog right and you treat it like a member of its family, and this is if you're single or if you got a whole family of people there, those big dogs will be a part of your family. And next thing you know, you'll notice people that aren't a part of the inner circle that start showing up at the house, they're going to be on guard, on alert, you know. And if it's a complete stranger coming through something, they will get into attack mode. I've seen it firsthand. I've seen dogs that I've never heard a fly that rolls around on the floor with babies, but someone comes into the property that's not recognizable through an entrance that they normally don't come through. That dog is ready for war, and and that's what you can't teach that. You earn it.
You do, and it's also them accepting you into the pack. So dogs are pack animals, and when you integrate them into your family, your daily routine, you've basically made yourself their pack. And an animal, you know, a dog will die for its pack.
Yep.
And a lot of people are like, oh, we've got to go through this training and that training, and you don't. You have to just love and take care of and nurture that pet every day.
Yep.
And that instinct is natural. It's just like a motherly instinct, you know. You don't know it until you have a baby.
Yeah.
You know,
like you watch those videos on TikTok of the dog running out and grabbing the kid seconds before something happens, or, you know, another animal comes towards the kid and the other dog shoots in to attack it, or, you know, that's because of what we're talking about here.
Right.
That's what happens.
So we do have a large amount of large dogs.
So if you are looking for that kind of part of your family, go check out some of these.
And if you're
some
not,
of the big fellas.
You know, too keen on dogs with long hair, I have a lot of large breed dogs that have short hair.
Good deal.
So
a little less shedding, a little less of the hair. I mean, they all shed.
They do.
Yeah, you're never getting out of shedding. Even the ones that are, quote, not shedders, shed.
I agree. If you like to, you know, come and meet with them, you know, when you see them inside the kennels, they're at their worst. So when you're looking at them and they're looking at you, you know, just think of it as if, you know, you were behind bars and somebody was coming and staring at you.
Sure.
You'd be a little awkward about it too.
They're excited. They're crazy. They're out of their comfort zone.
Yes.
And that's why we say, come to our family room. You can sit down. There's not the noise of the shelter going on there, and the dog can kind of open it up a little bit too. And now you're not even going to see the full personality there. That'll come days later. Once the dog starts earning a trust with you, that's when you'll see the personality. But,
and depending on like the time of the day, obviously this week has not been a really great week for dog walking because it's been so hot so early.
Next week ain't looking much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hopefully we're coming to the end of this.
Soon it will be here. Give us a month or two, and then. But in the meantime, you can come indoors.
Yes, we have inside greet times.
Yeah,
you know, and if
roll around on the floor with the dogs in the room there for a little bit. That would be the next best thing.
And we're always open to people bringing treats like milk bones or pepperonis or stuff that when people come to do visitations, we have that so they can offer it to the dogs and be able to
piece of offer the peacekeeping thing. Please avoid those white rawhides and all that stuff. That's not healthy for dogs and choking hazards and everything else. But yeah, if you've got the pepperonis or the bacon strips or any of those kinds of things, that's all good stuff.
We do.
Things like that, and even avoid like the pig ears and stuff like that.
Yes, we've actually had quite a bit of issues in the past with dogs not being able to digest the pig ears like they should because they eat them so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not fun to deal with. So,
which is a bummer because in theory that'd be a good thing for the dog, but it's not.
No. I have quite a bit of stuff for the thrift store today.
Awesome.
We do. Calling all people who like China hutches.
I got some hutches.
We got 2 of them.
Okay.
There's one that's probably the 2 of those put together in size. And then there's your normal size large hutch.
Got you. Okay.
They have one of them, the smaller ones at $50 and then the bigger ones at $150.
Nice, because they're probably about $1,000 if you bought something new like that or similar.
Probably.
Yeah.
They're still doing the kids sale for back to school, so all kids' clothes, shoes, backpacks are still 50% off.
Because they've already messed up half of them here in the first week.
Well, yeah, and then you might want to look into getting a size or 2 bigger because kids grow fast.
Exactly. By springtime, they might need a whole new set of clothes. So.
Some of them by Christmas time.
Yeah, exactly.
So come and stock up. Get stuff ahead of time. Get some sizes bigger so that way it's already there. And then as your kids start growing out of what you've bought them, you've got something for them to grow into.
Absolutely. And you didn't spend hundreds of dollars doing it.
No.
Yeah.
They have a really nice Lazy Boy recliner priced at $200.
Nice.
If you are lamp people and you like lamps on your end tables and night tables and all of that stuff, they've got quite a bit of lamps. Anybody looking for a gas stove, they have one for $100.
Nice.
Fans, the little oscillating fans, they've got several of those.
Yeah, you can usually drop $100 on those things, and you probably get them for what, $5-10 there at the.
I think she has them like 15.
Yeah, exactly.
So, she has a telescope, and then she also has a camera tripod that has a leveler on it.
Oh, okay.
So, and I don't know, you could use that probably for some other things, but
well, any photographers out there that are amateur, professional, or we're looking to
you want to get into a hobby and you don't know exactly if this is what you want,
and I'm pretty sure
dropping,
buying a brand new is very expensive.
Yes.
So instead of paying thousands of dollars, pay a third of that price and to get it. And then if you don't like it, you can donate it back and they'll do it. But if you do like it, then you can spend a bunch of money once you figure it out that you like it. So.
Right. Yeah. If you're looking to get some suitcases because you got to do some traveling, they've got quite a bit of suitcases.
I just send my wife over there. She's talking about buying new luggage, and it's like, go over there and buy it.
Yeah, I'll send her pictures. We're gonna start doing a early out on holiday stuff like the department stores do.
Okay.
Because we have quite a bit of items that get donated for certain holidays, and Christmas and Halloween are the 2 biggest that we get.
And Christmas people buy early because, they're buying it for Christmas. And
right.
So, and so if you're doing your holiday shopping, I know I find it nuts, but there's people that start like in the spring.
I used to start
I know you're
in
one
July.
of them. I'm not one of them, but there are those people.
Yes. And then they're creating a seasonal department inside the thrift store.
Okay.
So it's going to be, if we have this upcoming season or holiday, then the next holiday after, they're going to start putting out little bits of that at a time.
Nice.
So that way they have a couple of holidays out at a time. They have air fryers.
Stock up on those.
They do.
Well, I don't know what the college dorms rules on air fryers, but, with these college kids going back to school and stuff, and they're now saying, man, now they're settled in. They're like, I wish I had this microwave, or wish I had, rather than buying new ones, Go on down to the thrift store and see what they got, because a lot of times you get those same small appliances for a third of the price that have been used not at all or barely,
Yes.
or brand new, and they're going to destroy it at college anyway.
They are.
Yeah.
They have quite a bit of pet supplies. We get some stuff from Petco that like they mark down and doesn't, sell well, or they just donate it for us to do with what we want, either use for the shelter, or if it's stuff that we can't use because like aquarium type stuff.
Yeah.
We don't have aquariums there.
No, you're not adopting fish.
No. But they do have other stuff. They have cats and dog stuff as well. Supplies there that we've gotten from Petco and other places.
And if you do get the aquarium stuff, there's people in the market for that, because I know, again, that can get pricey too.
It is. We got some new light bulbs from Petco, LED light bulbs for aquariums, some for the 75-gallon, I think.
Okay.
And then a couple for the 25 and 30-gallon tanks.
Okay.
That are
Anybody
there.
listening out there that need light bulbs?
Yeah, and they're expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially out there getting like the LED ones and all that now. Yeah.
Lots and lots of bakeware. So 'tis the season for bacon, which is coming around the corner because apparently autumn starts August 1st when Starbucks releases pumpkin
spice season. That's right.
Yes. Our daughter is like, no, fall starts August 1st. And I was like, no, it doesn't.
Well,
it starts September 22nd.
There's your first seasonal section, pumpkin spice season.
Yes, yeah. So we had an argument about when fall started because she swore it started when pumpkin spice came out by Starbucks.
Usually that's August, isn't it?
Yeah, it came out August 1st.
But say usually August is when they start that stuff. So.
Coffee pots, she's got a lot of them, even Keurigs. So she's got the Keurigs, the individual Keurigs, the big Keurigs, and then just your regular everyday old school coffee pot.
Yeah, put the cup in, the filter, and there's 10 cups of coffee ready and waiting for you.
That's me. She's got a really nice slow cooker. It's a small, looks to be about a 6-quart.
Okay.
So for
so maybe a
two
couple
people,
or something. Yeah.
Not the big family one like my 10-quart crock pot.
Well, and
you know
what? Sometimes it's good to have multiple sizes, because sometimes you get invited to a party and you need to make a bevy of it. But yeah, you're right. Like my wife and I, it's like I love crock pot cooking, but I don't want to eat the meal 2 weeks straight and I don't want to freeze it and eat later, because I never do. It goes and turns to a mystery bag in the back of the freezer for 3 years, and then we throw it out. So a smaller crock pot or slow cooker. Sorry, I'm calling it the Kleenex of whatever.
Well, I call them crock pots still, but they're technical slow cooker, whatever.
Yeah. I think what makes it, you're like, okay, I want to make this recipe, but I don't want to make it to feed 12 people. I just need it for my wife and I for maybe today and maybe leftovers tomorrow or something. So I'm all for having multiple size, especially if you have a smaller family or something. I mean, if you've got, if you live at the Brady Bunch, then all right, then maybe you need a big one all the time.
I have a big and a small, but I still always overdo it. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, that's part of it too. Is it's hard to cook proportionally with crock pots. You're always making more than you need to.
And they do have quite a bit of arts and crafts.
Okay.
So they've opened up and done some new rearranging in there. So they just have like one section that's just all your arts and crafts. So your crochet needles, your what's the other word? Knitting needles.
Yeah.
Your yarn, ribbons for people that like to make stuff.
They have like the needlepoint, those little round thingies they use for needlepoint.
Yes.
The frames or whatever.
Like paints and just like a small Hobby Lobby section.
If you ever come across a Bob Ross paint kit, those things aren't cheap. I'm telling you right now, if you come across one and it's fully intact or not destroyed, it's worth more money than you think it is. It's like I remember this was years ago, like 6-8 years ago, I bought my sisters each a Bob Ross paint kit, and they were like $300 a piece.
Jesus.
And this was not like the advanced one. This is like Bob Ross for beginners kind of. Now I know it probably went to that lady and all that, if you know the story, but yeah, the Bob Ross paint kits are, so if everyone donates one, look, don't sell for like $2 because it's worth more than that. It's worth, you could probably get at least $40-50 for it. Probably.
All right. We do have we were going to go to or do the thing at the air races, but obviously that's not going to be possible.
Yeah.
But if we, we do have a event coming up with Tractor Supply that's going to be at the end of August. It's going to be the 23rd of August, and we're going to be out at Tractor Supply from 10 to 2. We're going to have some dogs out there. At the beginning of the year.
For adoption, not hot dogs, just so you're clear. Because I heard they're going to have hot dogs.
Yeah.
A dog's available for adoption.
Yes, not hot
for
dogs.
eating.
Yeah. No.
Sorry, I work in the radio business, and I say, well, I have dogs, and I think hot dogs. So I better, let me clarify.
That's fine. We will be indoors because it's still going to be hot.
Yes.
But
everyone
we're
will
just
be
doing
happy.
an adoption event with Tractor Supply. And hopefully, we can get a lot of people to go out there.
Yeah.
Tractor Supply is supposed to be having some good sales.
Come meet the puppies. There's always something in that store you want.
I can't go in there and not want a lot of things.
You're like, I don't know why I'm here, but I'm going to leave with something. I don't know what
Well,
yet.
I was there yesterday for fly spray, and I left with more than fly spray.
Yeah, it's pretty much one of those stores. You're like, did you find everything you need? Yeah, and about 10 things I really did need, but I got it anyway. So.
Uh-huh. If John goes with me and we're by the cash registers, if they have the licorice stocked.
Yeah.
There's the cinnamon licorice, and then your regular red licorice. He's not big on the black licorice.
Not many people are.
No.
I'm not. And I'm one of them. I'm not a black jelly beans, black licorice. Never been my jam.
No.
Grandmother liked it. Of course, everyone's grandmother loved it. I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
everyone hated black licorice, but everyone's grandmother loved the black licorice.
Yeah, not me. You give me like your strawberry licorice, your watermelon licorice, your cherry licorice.
Yeah, red. Pretty much. You give me red, I'm good. Whatever the red is, I'm good.
Yep.
Yeah. Although, I can't remember. One of them I like less than the other one. I can't remember if it's red vines or
red ropes.
Or one of them what's it? Twizzlers.
Twizzlers.
One
Twizzlers
I like and one
are
I
strawberry, and red vines are like a cherry.
There's one I like and one I'm not as much a fan of, but I don't remember which one's which. I keep forgetting. I don't remember because I'll pick it up and it's like, oh, it's the other one I don't like.
It's the other one I want.
Yeah. Anyway, one of them I'm not a big fan of, but anyway, where did we go with that with the kids? We were talking about Tractor Supply, the candy there. That's what it was.
I think I'm on radio after that. That's why I mentioned it.
Okay.
Because this is the odd month.
Yes.
But we'll be out there 10 to 2.
Yeah.
We're gonna have some dogs, adoptable dogs.
Come and meet
dogs.
them, pet them.
I don't know. Tractor Supply might throw out a barbecue pit and
You
start
never know.
cooking. They got the Blackstones out.
Yeah, you'll smell it when you get there.
Yep. Come out, support.
Yeah. Come out, or even if you don't want a dog or something, because if you'd like to make a donation or drop off some donations, that would be an amazing thing too.
It would.
But if you are looking for a dog, and please, if they didn't bring one that you didn't fancy up to, there's a whole bunch more back at the shelter that are looking for homes that you can come on by during hours and come see if they'd be. And I'm telling you. If there's not one in that building, then walk right next door to animal control and check out the animals over there, because either way, you're rescuing a pet. So regardless.
We do tell everybody, if you don't see something here, look at animal control.
Mm-hmm.
And I know animal control tells them the same thing, because they'll come over and they'll be like, oh, the building back there sent us up here to look at your dog.
Mm-hmm.
So we do try to work hand in hand with each other, since, we are basically in the same business.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If you don't find something with us, we will direct you back there, but don't forget about them.
Yeah.
And do remember, we are 2 separate shelters. We're just in the same parking lot, and it kind of looks like we're one building because of the placing of animal control's building.
No, I'm not going to lie. It's like having McDonald's and Burger King right next to each other.
We are not to have it your way. Sorry.
But yeah, it's 2 different entities.
It is.
One's run by the city. One is a nonprofit organization. But and by the way, another way to be involved is becoming a member. Joining your pets can be a member, family, businesses. There's different levels and abilities of membership. All of them include being a part of the newsletter, inviting to the annual meeting, being a part of the process of deciding what
our next newsletters will go out October.
Okay.
And so on October's membership newsletters, on the back of it will have the 2026 membership form, so you can either pay your membership early or sign up early. If you're not on the mailing list for paying your dues and you want to become a member, you can go on the website, or there's some out on your table here.
Grab
you can
one
go
there.
into the Humane Society at any time, get a form, and then we'll just get you signed up.
Absolutely.
We send the newsletters out quarterly, so January, April, July, and October.
Yeah.
And
maybe when you're going to do a little shopping at the thrift store, you can pick one up.
I think Camille has a couple next door too. So like if you go while we're at lunch or something, Camille should be able to help you.
Excellent. Very good.
If you have items you want to donate, call ahead. If you need them picked up, just schedule with Camille.
Especially big stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
if you have that freezer and refrigerator, but you can't get it to us, call. I'll hook up one of the little trailers and dollies, and then we could go get them.
Yeah. That one is kind of as soon as humanly possible. If you got one ready to go, we can take it maybe as soon as today if you call.
Yeah, if you call and you're like, hey, I got it, you know, I'll go get the trailer, and then Camille and I will come see you.
Absolutely. And also, by the way, please note your membership fees and everything that goes back to paying vet bills, covering expenses, and things like that.
Our utilities aren't free, unfortunately.
It does. And this being the hot season, I'm sure the electric bill and the water bill are a little higher than normal here.
Yes.
So swamp coolers give you a bit of a break on your electric bill, but your water bill goes up.
We have 11 swamp coolers total from the thrift store to the kennels.
Okay.
And so our water bill goes up about $300 from May to around September, October.
Wow. Yeah. Yep. So
we have more months of swamp cooler than we do not swamp cooler.
That's New Mexico.
Yeah.
We're always, and about 3 months of that are actually comfortable months of we're having a swamp cooler. The rest too hot. But anyway, so please, that's a great way. And then of course, coming if you make monetary donations, all that stuff. But litter, any kind of cleaning supplies that would be bleaches in your pine sols and mops, brooms, buckets, any of that stuff. Of course, if it's foods, please steer clear of the red dye stuff. And like you said, if you've got items for the thrift store donations, call ahead to Camille and let's make arrangements to have it picked up or dropped off. But everything and anything, if it's small appliances, furniture, clothing, make sure it's clean and serviceable clothing and things like that. Obviously, we don't want if you wouldn't wear it, someone else probably won't wear it. That's usually the rule of thumb I go by. And not because you wouldn't wear it because you're too skinny or too fat, but because it's too destroyed.
Too worn out.
No. Yeah, I get it. I know I can fit into that large. No, you can't.
I'll get there one day.
Right. No,
we won't.
No, I get that.
Yeah. We'll get there one day. No, we won't.
Right. But, and so please donate to all of that does really help keep the doors open, helps keep these animals fed, healthy, and allowing the doors to be open so families can come and adopt here. So, and if you are interested in adopting, please come by. Please note there are restrictions to adopting. First off, because the Humane Society is located within city limits, regardless of where you live, every single animal that leaves that shelter will be spayed or neutered and microchipped. Even if you live out in the county and there's no ordinance requiring you to have such, because the city you're adopting within city limits, you must apply by city ordinance.
Right. And also one thing, when you do come to the shelter, I know it is summertime, I know it's hot, but if you do not have on tennis shoes or boots, you cannot go into the dog kennels.
Yeah, that's for safety for yourself and
that's
for
the same
animal.
at animal control.
Mm-hmm.
So no Crocs, no house shoes, no slippers, no
There's chemicals on the
flip-flops.
floor that your skin shouldn't be,
Well, you
hanging
have
out
to
with
go in
either.
through a bleach mat to walk into the kennel.
Yeah.
And so because it is liquid, When you step in it, it splashes.
Yeah.
And if you get that bleach on your feet, it can cause a chemical burn.
Yeah.
But also certain shoes, because that is a smooth concrete, when you walk, that becomes an ice skating ring out there.
Yeah.
And even with my work boots, sometimes I get just enough, and I'm
Again, enough where you got I slid for about 2 feet there. Yeah, I meant to do that.
Yeah, you try to walk it off and look cool, like, yeah.
I was trying to do a Gumby thing, yeah.
But a lot of people are like, it's summertime. I know, I get it. I would love to be in flip-flops. However,
but when you come to visit,
yes,
please. Now this is to go into the shelter side.
Yeah, and that's to
through a
go,
store. You're
no,
fine. Yeah.
If you want to look at just the cats, you don't have to, because
Okay.
you're not going through the bleach mat for cats. But if you want to look at the dogs, you do have to have tennis shoes on, boots, completely soled shoes
Yeah.
that are.
And not to mention, if you do actually meet and greet some of the bigger dogs, they're going to be excited. And you know what happens to toes when dogs start jumping.
Yes.
Not on purpose. It's just they're excited. And it happens.
And it's going to happen. You're going to get a toenail to your toenail.
That's right.
And it's going to be an unpleasant feeling.
Yep. It's just the cost of doing business.
It is. We do get it. You know, like I said, it's summertime. I would prefer to not be
800 degrees out. Yeah.
But if you want to look at the dogs, even the kids, you know, unless you're going to carry your kid through the kennels.
Yeah.
Make sure your kids have the tennis shoes on too.
Yeah, it's not a rule we can bend on this one.
No. And it's to keep you from tracking anything into the shelter and keep you tracking anything out of the shelter.
Yep, it's good for you and the pets and everybody here. So understand, just throw a pair of sandals in the back seat or whatever and put them on when you're done. So that's all you got to do. But
you would be surprised how many people actually carry pair of shoes in their vehicle.
I can see that. I don't have any right now, but there's been times where I've done something and thrown them back there, and it just happened to be back there. You know.
I'm not that person.
Yeah, I'm not normally either, but once in a while.
I was like, wow, who carries extra shoes? And I was like, I carry like paper towels, baby wipes, you know, those kind of things, but I don't carry shoes or clothes.
Yeah.
I got a blanket.
My biggest contribution is fast food napkins. I'm a hoarder of fast food napkins.
Straws.
And I always keep them, and I always have a stack of them somewhere in my car.
I'm the straw person, you know. You give me extra straws, I ain't throwing them away.
Yeah, I get you. I'm going to be sucking from now till next Sunday.
You give me a bench straw, it's fine. I got my own.
That's right. He pulls them out like your mom's Kleenexes out of, you know, they always.
Oh, yes.
We're almost out of time, but if you have any questions about anything, don't hesitate to call or come by the shelter or the thrift store. If you don't mind, give out those hours and all that.
So the kennels are Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 12 and 1 to 4:30.
Yes.
The thrift store is Wednesday through Saturday, 10 to 4:30.
Yep. And, of course, RoswellHumane.org is the website. It's still doing construction on that a little bit, so it's not completely
almost done with the other one, and then I've got some stuff I've got to do whenever they get to that point, and then we'll launch the new one.
Gotcha. So coming soon, but you can go there and
you can go to the old one that's still being updated.
But I would invite you to Facebook and Instagram. That's where they share a lot of photos and happenings that is going on at the Humane Society. And I ain't gonna lie, they're gonna guilt you into looking a few pics when they come through, and you're like, oh, look at that dog, look at that cat. As you're scrolling, you're gonna hit one every day.
And that's thanks to Abby.
Yes.
She is the Facebook and Instagram person.
Yeah.
And she comes, she spends time with them. When you see the cute kitties looking through the tube or with the cat toys, that's Abby, and they're getting photos of them and getting them in their happy zone, so that way they look happy.
Well, she does a great job with that, and I guess she can get a job with Sean. They can start their own portrait studio. They were talking. Sean was talking earlier about back in his photo days. They can get together, specialize in babies and animals. Very good. Well, Crystal, as always, appreciate it. We'll see you here in a couple weeks.
Yep.
All right.
Forest fires. The U.S. Forest Service says Smokey's message remains important to this day. And a little extra trivia for you. The real Smokey Bear was first named Hotfoot Teddy after he was orphaned during a forest fire that started by a carelessly discarded cigarette in 1950. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
Day for Washington, D.C., announcing a crackdown on crime, declaring we are taking our capital back. Among other things, National Guard troops are being deployed to fight crime in the nation's capital city. Also, police being placed under control of the feds. Australia, the latest country, announcing plans to recognize a Palestinian state.
Foreign Minister Penny Wong says Australia couldn't keep waiting for the end of a peace process that's ground to a halt before recognising a Palestinian state.
So last April, our government started a conversation with the Australian people about changing Australia's approach. We made clear we would recognise Palestine when it would best contribute momentum to peace. September is that time.
Wong adds, it's been more than 77 years since the world promised a Palestinian state, knowing that there cannot be lasting peace for both peoples without a two-state solution. I'm Charles Dilladesma.
And Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu says Israel really has no choice but to step up its military offensive in Gaza.
Look, maybe some choose to forget October 7th. We will not forget what happened. And we will do whatever it takes to defend our country and defend our people, defend our future. We will win the war, with or without the support of others.
He says Hamas must be crushed. New York federal judge has ruled transcripts of secret grand jury testimony in the case against Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, will not be released. Judge Paul Engelmeyer says that releasing the transcripts would risk unraveling the foundations of secrecy upon which the grand jury rests. Friday the day, Alaska the place, President Trump will be meeting with Russia's Vladimir Putin to talk about ending the long-running war in Ukraine. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals, too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
At CDC headquarters in Atlanta.
A Georgia man who blamed the COVID vaccine for making him depressed and suicidal has been identified as the shooter who opened fire late Friday on the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention headquarters in Atlanta, killing a police officer. The 30-year-old man, identified as Patrick Joseph White, was armed with 5 guns, according to an official speaking on condition of anonymity. He died during the incident. White also tried to get into the CDC's headquarters, but was stopped by guards before driving to a pharmacy across the street and opening fire. I'm Julie Walker.
A blistering heat wave is gripping southwest France, sending thermometers soaring to almost 110 degrees. In one area, a patchwork of vineyards and Mediterranean brush, hundreds of firefighters remain on the hillsides, guarding the edges of a massive blaze. Townhall.com. A hurricane named Henriette, building strength way out in the central Pacific, far off Hilo, Hawaii. The National Hurricane Center expects it to track north of the Hawaiian Islands, not posing any threat to any land mass.
The Miami-based center said the storm was located about 444 miles north-northeast of Hilo, Hawaii,
with a maximum sustained wind of 80 miles an hour. It was moving northwest at 17 miles an hour on a course that's expected to take it well north of the Hawaiian Islands over the next few days. The storm was expected to strengthen through Monday, followed by weakening on Tuesday. The Hurricane Center said tropical storm Ivo was also moving through the Pacific, about 470 miles west of the tip of Baja California, Mexico, and was expected to weaken to a remnant low by Monday. Bernie Bennett reporting.
More than 70 million Americans have experienced the muggiest start to summer on record. That according to an AP analysis of parts of 20 states and Washington, D.C. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos.
3 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday.
Ah, yes. Happy Monday to ya.
Yeah.
Didn't get a chance to watch the new Naked Gun this weekend. Wanted to, but didn't get a chance to. Hopefully this week I can sneak away and check it out.
Go see it. Well, shoot.
I'm getting...
I feel like in a week or two it'll be on demand.
Yeah, probably at this point. But I've seen nothing but rave reviews. People are saying parody is back, and I think this might be the start of a good new wave of a renaissance for parody movies.
I hope so. I wonder if they're going to do more Naked Gun movies. Like if this is commercially successful, which it sounds like it is there going to be a Naked Gun 2.5?
Would they do
again?
2.5, or would they do like 2 3/4? I mean, because I feel like,
or do they put it in modern terms, like 2.0?
2.0, yeah. Do. Produce.
Yeah, part do would be
or
a Hot Shots. Bro.
Naked Gun. Deuces.
Yeah.
Just a thought. Just throwing that out there. I will say Paul Walter Hauser, who is, I guess, the main, he's the son of the lieutenant, I think.
Yeah.
Is what it...
He's Ed.
Okay, he's Ed.
He's
okay.
Ed's kid.
He was on commentary over the weekend for AEW's Collision.
Okay.
There was a really, really funny moment right in the middle of it. Like, I just completely out of nowhere. They're in the middle of fighting. I guess one wrestler had a botch. And Nigel McGuinness, who's one of the commentators, he said, "Oh, there's something wrong with the ring." Paul Walter Hauser, what's that? It's that square thing in the middle of the arena where everyone wrestles, but that's not important right now. I'm like, oh, they nailed it.
Yes.
That was great.
If you remember Ed from the original Naked Gun movies, that was Leslie Nielsen's partner there. Yeah. He's Ed's son.
Ed's son.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he plays, which is weird that all the sons do work in the police squad, but that's another story.
Yes, including OJ's.
But I'd be curious to. I hope it does make it because I did enjoy it. I watched. There was a couple parts. Now that being said, I find the originals funnier, but that may just because of when I grew up you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's biased to the time.
If I had watched those movies for the first time in my 50-year-old brain, would I still feel the same way about them that I do when I watched them in my teenage brain?
Well, because they are the ones that set the standard.
Yeah.
You didn't see it coming. Whereas with this, it was more of, okay, well, I expect it.
Yeah.
So it almost It's like the whole set my mouth up for for something and you're delivering something else. But this, I feel like maybe scratches enough of the itch that it bolsters a renaissance. That and the fact that the Wayans are rebooting Scary Movie.
Yeah,
I feel like all those things happening at the same time just sort of like lends itself to good news for parody.
Well, I think Scary Movies, if it's going to be like the original Scary Movie, it's going to be where it doesn't hold up in 10 years. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's all going to be topical, which will be funny now. But you watch this 10 years from now, and it's going to be like, unless you lived it, you don't get the jokes.
That being said, up to including this weekend, I used that's my strong hand reference, and it killed. So there are certain parts of that movie.
It depends on your audience.
That I think stand the test of
I think
time.
if you're hanging out with a bunch of 18-year-olds, they're not going to get that reference. You hang out with a bunch of 30, 40-somethings, you're going to get that reference.
Yes and no, because of the memification of the bit.
Yeah.
I think that maybe enough young people would get it just because of the meme.
Yeah. Well, you'd think.
Yeah.
But then I meet kids that have never heard of Back to the Future. I was like, that movie's literally on every day on some channel somewhere.
Yeah.
How have you not at least aware it's in existence? Okay, maybe I've never seen it. But how do you not know it exists?
Oh, you mean that movie that's based off of off that show Rick and Morty, right?
Yeah, right. It's like when I was a kid, I wasn't things I wasn't into, but I knew they existed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, like I didn't watch the Donna Reed show, but I knew it existed. It was before my time.
I wasn't into bocce ball, but I knew it existed only because of the movie Splash. The movie in that movie, I
played bocce ball.
What was the character's name? It's the Eugene Levy character.
Yeah.
Something happens in the middle of the movie, and he just goes, "Bocce balls," and that has always I've always known what it was.
To be honest, it's been 40 years since I've seen that movie. I
Yeah.
need to go watch it again. Like, is it available somewhere?
I don't know. I mean, I got to imagine.
Imagine on like Freevee
we
or
had
something, right?
we had it on VHS. In fact, it was
Yeah.
crazy because we had. Do you remember when VHS cases were poofy? Like they had, they were like oversized.
They had like that,
and they had like they were poofy, like one of those 3D stickers.
Like Disney were popular to have those. Like a lot of the Disney archive, the Vault came in those poofy ones.
And Splash was a Buena Vista movie, which was a Disney arm. So that was so it came in that poofy case. This is sort of off topic, but bocce ball made me think of it. We went to a restaurant over the weekend. The restaurant's not important. What is important, it was just a breakfast place. They had different stuff on different sports on different TVs. And one of the sports that was playing, I've never seen this before, but I am genuinely intrigued. It is a combination, and I'm not kidding. Jocelyn was there. She can vouch for this. It's a combination of wrestling and basketball.
Okay.
It's crazy. We sat there watching, like, what is this?
So is it more like full contact basketball?
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's like people are like grabbing dudes and like choke holds and like throwing them over, suplexing them and stuff. And then there's a basketball game also happening while this is happening.
Now, is this happening on a basketball court or a wrestling ring with hoops?
I don't know if it was a specialized court, but it was happening on a basketball court. And I got to imagine if you're getting suplexed onto a basketball court, that's going to kill your back.
All right.
But I didn't look it up at the time.
I got to pick up my copy of Obscure Sports Weekly and find the sport of which you speak.
Honestly, I'm not sure. Like, I was like, are we watching ESPN 8?
The Ocho.
Yeah. It's called, so it is. It's called wrestleball.
Wrestleball.
It's
all right.
a full contact sport combining basketball, rugby, and wrestling. It was just like I've never seen. I grew up watching slam ball, and I loved that game. Like I loved watching the dudes hit the trampolines and do like double backflips into the hoop.
Yeah.
This is something I'd never even thought of combining. That's like basketball levels of
this
creation.
To me, this sounds like somebody sat down and listened to George Carlin's bit about sports and how to make them better. And he was talking about which ones are actual sports and which ones are just activities. And you can make, and I'm pretty sure he was talking about basketball, making it better, about putting a ring of flames around the ring, around the court. And and so it's starting to sound a lot like this. And
I guess it's maybe like a padded court. I'm not sure, but yeah, these dudes are like, this dude took his shirt off and just German suplexed a guy into the basketball court.
Wow.
I mean, It's absolutely crazy. At first, I thought we were watching American Gladiators.
Right. So
I was not sure at all.
Feels like some game we invented in gym class.
It's right up there with when I discovered professional tag.
Right.
It's like this is a sport. People make money playing this.
Is there a new channel I don't know about that's like obscure ESPN, and they're showing like Keepy Uppy and that slap fighting and this thing?
I love Keepy Uppy and slap fighting being in the same sentence, even in the same paragraph, makes me happy.
I just feel like it's this channel with all.
Like, I don't know where it is, what channel it was on, or what we were watching, and they were short-staffed, so I didn't even bother to ask. They were so short-staffed, one of us stole one of their coffee cups.
I feel like we need to sell the tea dueling to these people.
Yeah.
You know what? But maybe make it where you can contact.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can punch them or something. Can't touch the biscuit, but you can touch her face.
Just hold. Whap, whap. Whap, 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 whap.
Man, well, I'll be looking for that.
It's WrestleBall. I'm going to look into it because I'm not sure what channel that is on. If maybe, I think sometimes just every now and again as a goof, ESPN rolls out the Ocho just on like a Saturday,
just to see.
Yeah, just to like throw some obscure sports.
Back when I was a kid, they'd show things like the lumberjack Olympics and all that. Yeah.
The
Scottish games,
which, in fairness, is like it's crack to watch. If you ever watch them like slice the log, the way they slice, it's like crack.
Or the pole climbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, those are all.
Or
all
the
good.
Scottish games. You ever watch those where they basically take a telephone pole, some big dude in a kilt basically walks a telephone pole down a field?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty intense to watch too.
That's.
But anyway.
But it was definitely one I've never seen before. And
add Keepy Uppy and WrestleBall and and slap fight or whatever.
I think we need an obscure sports Olympics.
I'm thinking
squirrel juggling.
Actually, it's almost like that. Remember that Minute to Win It show?
Yes,
it's kind of like that.
Although that show, I used to try. Like you could try at home to.
Yeah.
Those challenges are freaking impossible.
Yeah, they were pretty hard. I was watching and
it never seemed worth it for the prize they were offering.
Right, but and to be honest, if they bring that back, maybe not give that to Guy Fieri. let someone else handle that.
Yeah,
you know,
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon.
You knobhead. You got 30 seconds.
I think what's his name? John Taffer. We'll get him. Not Jake Tapper, John the bar rescue guy.
I was like, Jake Tapper, what? CNN?
The bar rescue guy.
Oh, that guy.
Apparently, he doesn't do his show anymore. Everyone else does his shows. So, he's free up. All right. Mike Taylor, candidate for sheriff, is going to join us after all that talk of that. But he's going to give us a conversation, talk a little bit about why he's running for sheriff. So we'll have a great conversation with Mike here in just a few minutes. But before we do any of that, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We could see a few showers or thunderstorms today. A little bit of moist air getting in from the south. We'll be in the mid-90s on the afternoon high. Overnight, scattered showers and thunderstorms around mid-60s on the low, and then sunshine in the morning on Tuesday. About 90 to 95 on the afternoon high. Still that chance of a late-day shower. Sunshine on Wednesday, low 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 77 degrees. I got a temperature now. I guess they fixed the measuring deal at the airport there. Humidity is at 47%. Winds currently out of the southeast at 6 miles per hour. We do got rain chances in the normal form, 20-30%. 30% for this afternoon, mostly sunny and 95. Southeast winds 5 to 10. Tonight, our chance of rain's at 40%. Mostly cloudy. Overnight low of 66 degrees. Winds out of the southwest 5 to 10. 20% chance of rain on Tuesday for the afternoon. Mostly sunny, 91 for a high. These low 90s aren't bad either. North winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, 30% chance at evening showers. Partly cloudy, overnight low of 67. 20% chance of rain for Wednesday afternoon as well. Mostly sunny and 94. Sunny and 98 on Thursday. Sunny and 97 on Friday. And then mid-90s for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 95 for highs. with 20% chances of afternoon showers both days this weekend, at least for now. You know how New Mexico is. By Friday, all that goes away. All right, 19 minutes after 9 o'clock, we're going to take a 3.5-minute break, and then we're going to talk with Mike Taylor, candidate for Chaffetz County Sheriff. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Some wounds need expert care to heal properly. At Artesia General Hospital's Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine Center, we use advanced treatments like hyperbaric oxygen therapy to help chronic wounds heal faster. If you or a loved one has a wound that won't heal, call 575-736-8235 today and take the first step toward recovery.
Hi everyone, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. We now carry Mayo Furniture. Not only is it proudly built in the U.S., but there are hundreds of custom options to choose from, including fabrics, top-grade leathers, nail head trim, and feet. The quality and construction stands apart from other brands in the industry, ensuring your satisfaction for years to come. Turn your living room into a reflection of your refined taste. Come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda in Roswell, where delivery is free since 1953.
At New Mexico Gas Company, we believe there's money hiding in your home. It's true. It's hiding in your insulation, in your water heater, and in your furnace. And New Mexico Gas Company can help you tap into that money with rebates up to $800 for high-efficiency natural gas improvements. Your energy costs will go down, and your wallet will thank you. We're New Mexico Gas Company, and we provide energy efficiency solutions to save you money. That's why we're here. Learn more at nmgcgetrebates.com.
Downtown Artesia is the place to be, September 11th through the 13th, for 3 nights of music, culture, and community. Thursday kicks off with New Mexico Heritage Night, mariachi, tejano, and local flavor. Friday's all about indie folk vibes. And Saturday, Red Dirt, Black Gold, with headliner Cody Canada and The Departed. Gates open at 5, music starts at 6, plus interactive vendors, shopping, food, and cold drinks all weekend long. Bring your boots, bring your friends, and experience Artesia like never before. Full schedule at reddirtblackgold.com. A heartfelt thank you to the City of Artesia for making this event possible. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Did you know almost 75% of the time we're replacing a roof, something totally weird or unexpected or bizarre happens? Jennifer here again from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that we are always prepared for the unexpected. That's why we always have project superintendent on site at your home at all times to handle those weird, bizarre things as they pop up. Things like an unexpected layer of wood shake shingles under your shingles, or rotted out decking boards, problems with flashing or ridges, or missing supplies that somebody needs to chase down. These are the kinds of problems that normally grind the crews from other roofing companies to a halt and delay the project, but not with our super awesome superintendent there. He's equipped to handle any problem and keep the project moving along smoothly. Just one more way we do things better at Trustmark Roofing. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first. Celebrated singer-songwriter Lee Greenwood is returning to the Spencer Theater on August 16th. Don't miss performances of his hit songs It Turns Me Inside Out, Ring on Her Finger, Time on Her Hands, and the iconic God Bless the USA. Get your tickets online at spencertheater.com or by calling the box office at 575-336-4800. We'll see you at the Spencer.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 47.2% of all statistics are made up on the spot. Is this true? I'd say chances are about 50%. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, candidate for Chaffetz County Sheriff Mike Taylor back with us. Good morning, sir.
Morning. How are you?
Doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing great.
How's the campaign going far? Because you've officially announced a
couple of months ago.
Yeah, say about 3-4 months ago here.
Yeah.
How's because I imagine life changes a little bit when you decide you announce to, because obviously with your long career at the RPD, continuing at the RPD, you know, people know you a certain way, and now they're saying, oh, okay, I ain't running for sheriff, and I'm sure they got a lot of questions for you.
Oh, sure. No, it's been busy. It's been it's a new chapter.
Sure.
You know, still trying to take on the role, or taking on the role at the police department.
Sure.
Full time, and then trying to maintain a campaign on the side of it.
2 full-time jobs, basically.
Well, and then of course, you always have honeydews.
Absolutely.
At home, so it's a three full-time job situation.
Yeah, husband and father is a big one.
Yeah,
is the big
grandfather, my grandkids, and always trying to keep them entertained and doing things. And so, yeah, it's a full-time situation in all directions. But
so, because you're in law enforcement, do your grandkids listen to you more, or are they kind of
no?
Does that intimidate them at all?
No. These grandkids, they know that they have me pretty much wrapped, and so there's no secret on that. They know that they have me wrapped, so they're like, yeah, you're not gonna use any ninja techniques on me. That's not going to work.
I know your mind games.
Yes, I know your mind games. That's right.
But for folks that I may not be familiar with them, a little bit of background.
Sure.
Of course, you've been with the Roswell Police Department for what,
25 years.
25 years
yes,
now. Currently serving as a deputy chief.
That's correct.
So now you're saying, you know what? My experience in law enforcement, I'm ready to make the leap here and for sheriff and run the sheriff's department.
Right. Well, I had a lot of people, reach out to me earlier in the year. A lot of people started reaching out to me from all different areas, all areas. I had businesses, organizations, just different people reach out to me and ask me if this was a direction that I had thought about,
gotcha.
and I had thought about it.
Sure.
But I needed to get to a place in my own mind and in my own heart.
Sure.
That I felt that this was where I needed to
the
go.
right move for you.
Correct. Where I needed to go. And so I had several people that had put out their mindset that they may run, and they were reaching out to me, asking me, hey, are you not? If you are, we're not.
Gotcha.
And so when I came to the conclusion, the mindset within myself, my family,
sure.
I have to have the right backing.
Absolutely.
And when I came to the solid conclusion that, yep, this is the direction I need to head to. This is the next chapter. Then anybody that the people that had been asking me,
sure,
they just rallied behind me 100%. Sure. It's been hugely overwhelming.
Nice.
I mean, it's been very humbling.
You kind of learn something, don't you, when you do things like that? How what people think, or especially you've been in a community as long as you have.
Sure.
Yeah.
And in the area that I'm in, I mean, with 25 years with the Roswell Police Department, I've pretty much held most all ranks.
You kind of done everything from the lowest of lows to the highest parts of the job. Yeah.
And a lot of my time, a huge amount of my time, I was in the narcotics division.
Okay.
And so I was kind of in the shadows.
You see things a lot of people don't normally see about your town in that division.
Right.
Yeah.
And pretty much in the shadows. So as far as my face being out in the public eye, I haven't been in the public eye's face so much.
Sure.
I've been a instrumental part of the police department
behind the scenes
for 25 years.
Sure.
But in different,
kind of like the offensive linemen in football,
sure.
where they do their job, you never hear their name.
Right.
But the moment something goes wrong,
sure.
everybody talks.
Sure, everybody knows you then. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so right now it's just in various different circles, city council, committees, different events, I'm very well known.
Sure.
But those
that aren't doing the day-to-day don't necessarily see what you do. Yeah,
correct.
That makes sense.
So, I've been out and about, been out in a lot of different events. These last couple of weeks have been really busy.
Sure.
We had
just meeting and greeting people.
Yeah.
And telling people
we had
about
a lot of different, the New Mexico health event that was at the mall Saturday before last. Had a great turnout there. We had a booth there set up under the New Mexico DWI commission, and so we had a lot of exposure there.
Sure.
I was there during that entire thing. The National Night Out.
It's kind of a busy time of year with back to school and National Night. The planets kind of align. All these events just happen this time of year.
Right. Yeah. And
fairs around the corner, and that'll be another busy time.
Then we just had a big fishing event in Dexter. The fishing with the cop.
Oh yeah, they did that just this past Saturday.
This last Saturday. Yeah. And to clear some of that up, it's come to my attention. It's been put out that some things that I think need to be cleared up. As far as the national event, the National Night Out event, that's pretty much put on by the Roswell Police Department, the Roswell Fire Department, and the city of Roswell.
Yeah.
They're the ones that organize that.
Those are generally a city thing.
They have done that for years. And, and then like this fishing event that came up in Dexter
that was a county thing.
Well, no, that actually wasn't.
That was more city too?
No.
Oh, okay.
So that was a private organization.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
So the Desert Dogs.
A third party.
The Desert Dogs Outdoors.
Okay.
Tony Torres. He is the founder of that organization out of Las Cruces. And so they started doing some events in Las Cruces.
Okay.
And they were asked to, hey, would you expand down into Chaves County?
Okay.
They did their first one last year.
Okay.
And they pretty much single-handedly set this entire thing up.
Gotcha.
Out of Las Cruces. Now they reach out to local departments and businesses and,
it's a
and
great
such
idea.
as that. Yeah. And they pull us all together. But these guys, man, they set up such an awesome event.
Sure. Well, and the whole point of both of these events really is that connection between the public and law enforcement.
And that is, in all reality, that is one of the highest points of why I ran for sheriff.
Gotcha.
And why I'm running is to reunite this county.
Sure.
There has been, over the last 7 years of the current administration, so much separation between all the departments within the county.
A disconnect.
A complete disconnect.
Yeah.
Unsure. That's something they have to answer to as to why.
Sure.
But a complete disconnect. And that is one of my main priorities is reuniting this county.
Sure.
Reuniting instantly. I mean, day one, I've got a great rapport with all of our law enforcement agencies within Chaves County.
Gotcha.
With the federal agencies. And day one, it's going to be everybody works together.
Gotcha. Doesn't matter if you're state, county,
it does not
whatever.
matter. We're all in the same fight.
Doing the same job.
Yeah, we're all in the same fight. And in a rural area such as we're in, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you lean on each other? Why wouldn't you band together? Because, in this very rural area, we see a lot of the same offenders. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Crime is not is not just separated by city or county lines or anything else.
Right.
You have across Eddy County sees a lot of the same guys that we have over here. We see a lot of Eddy counties, Lee County.
Absolutely.
It's crossed over, and then our communities, our local communities, Dexter, Hagerman, Lake Arthur. A lot of these people live in those communities, but they do crimes everywhere else.
Absolutely.
And it's different areas, and it's
What's
just
where opportunity is.
Yeah. It's just bringing that together.
Sure.
It's you can only do so much single-handedly, but when you band together and work together, then it's wide open.
Absolutely. Well,
there's an endless amount of what you can accomplish.
Absolutely. And this is kind of like what you getting kind of back to why they have these events and things,
yes.
and even like why we preach like neighborhood watches and things like that. It's to have a good neighborhood, to have great streets, to have a community that you feel safe and want to raise your family.
Yes.
And it really takes all of us to observe, report, because the people that know your community best are the people that live in it. And that's why that relationship between the law enforcement, that's why patrol officers are working beats and work the same neighborhoods. And so they get to know the people in the community and know the things that are normal every day and the things that aren't normal every day.
Right.
And that's so important to keep the peace, to keep keep everything going. And so for we, the community, our responsibility is to have that relationship with police and to talk about
it. It is. And it's harped on consistently. Departments all over the country being shorthanded. And Roswell and
let's face it,
even Chaves County,
career-wise, it's not popular to be a cop right now.
No,
you know what I mean? It's the like I think we're the exception, not the rule. I think this area really loves our law enforcement. I don't see the things that we see.
We have an outstanding base of community backing. in the county, in the city. We have an amazing backing that's not seen everywhere.
Absolutely.
Other parts of the country, you see total opposite.
Yeah.
But we're very fortunate in this part of the country that, for the most part, we have people that back the law enforcement in this area.
They understand that thin blue line.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, the county and the city and everything else, it's just like everywhere else. You have a small percentage, you know. We always kind of claim, you know, you have 90% are the good and the 10% are the bad. And it's that 10% that are always causing nonstop work for law enforcement.
And
you know,
that is true.
And then we have, you know, a lot of the state laws and everything else that over the years have bound our hands to a degree that makes our job a little bit harder.
Sure.
And so you get consistent, you know, back and forth with the same ones, the same group, and and like I said, they just bounce all over the place, you know. But with the shorthandedness, you know, it's not as easy and as readily available as we would like a lot of times for our officers that are out on patrol.
Sure.
To be as involved and as integrated into those certain neighborhoods because they're just bouncing from call to call to call.
Sure.
I mean, these guys are nonstop. They're working 10-hour shifts. And it is nonstop call to call to call. And when they do have the time, they take advantage of that to try and build the relationships and build the gaps and do the community policing and
I don't think people realize too is like every time a law enforcement officer shows up on a call, and it doesn't matter how minor or major that call is,
right?
There is probably an hour of paperwork associated with every one of those, like every speeding ticket, every little. You don't realize they got to annotate, document, and do pretty much every little burp that they've done that entire shift.
Right. No, it's all documentation. You know, you've got to document every ounce of everything. You know, and you know, like you said, you know, it's always good to be able to have that time frame to where you do have some downtime to be proactive instead of reactive all the time.
Absolutely.
And get out into the neighborhoods and even like these events, it's an awesome deal for a lot of these officers.
Sure.
I make
That's probably
sure
the fun
that
part.
It is. And in all of these events, you know, I reach out, I put it out to the entire department. Hey, we want as much involvement as we can.
Sure.
If you've got the time, if it's your day off, then come. We'll take care of you.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we just want to give you a little bit of a feel of the community coming out and being able to speak openly, and being able to engage with each other,
talk with people like
and
people.
Because when these guys get called, they're not going to grandma's house because she just baked cookies.
Exactly.
At that moment, whatever it is, it can be. You know, some people can look at it and say, "Well, that was a very minor situation." Well, it is to you. But to that person, it was a situation that they needed help at that time.
And to be honest, the officer doesn't know until they know.
Correct.
They've got to treat it like it's DEFCON 1 or whatever it is until they realize it's not.
Yeah, and they get all the information prior to, but just because you get some information doesn't always turn out that way.
Yeah,
I mean, everything can spin in just a second.
Absolutely.
To what you think is a very minor, and that's one of the things that we really train for, and that's one of the things too. You know, as far as looking at the sheriff's bid is training. I'm a huge proponent of training. And get these guys up to date training, get them up to date, get them the tools that they need to do their job that is now fulfilling every aspect that they possibly can for the citizens of the county.
I would imagine, just like you personally, I mean, yes, the job's the job.
Right.
But what they taught you 25 years ago versus what they're teaching the same new person today is probably a lot different.
It is.
I mean, there's going to be a few things that are same.
Sure, your foundation of law enforcement, even through training at the academy, it is kind of remains the same over years. but you have a lot of differences that still come through as well. You have a lot of different law changes.
Well, technology even
you
changed.
have technology changes, right? You got equipment changes, and so you have to be able to go with the times. And at the police department, you know, we send the guys to the academy. We run them through rigorous training. A lot of times we try and set that up prior to the academy.
Generally speaking,
but it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes
they're pretty prepared by the time they go to the academy. They know full well what they're about to get into.
They are,
yeah.
And then they go to the academy, and then they come back, and then that's where we really train them.
Sure.
Because now, okay, you have a foundation.
Sure.
That you learn through to get your state certification. You have the foundation.
Sure.
But we take you, and we're going to show you hands-on, and you're going to have a true reality of what life is as a law enforcement officer in Roswell and in this surrounding area.
And I think any officer that's been an officer for any amount of time, you literally develop what I like to call spidey sense.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean? And and yes, they can teach you the techniques in the academy on how to acquire it, but day one with your ride along and all that, that's when you hone that skill and put it into real practice. And after enough time, that's when you can tell when your spidey senses are on point versus, you know, working overtime or not doing what they're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean?
And that's, you know, and when you bring various departments, because, you know, here we are in Roswell, we've got Chaves County Sheriff's Office that's in the same community, you know, they're housed in Roswell area. And a lot of these guys work together.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're working together all the time. As far as the ground pounders, you know, the patrol guys, they're working together. That's another aspect. Is I really am aiming for these guys to be able to work together far more, train together, get a lot of the same training, and be able to understand just on sight.
Absolutely.
The second you see each other, it doesn't matter what department it is. You come together and you don't have to always speak what's going on. You can look at each other and you know exactly, hey, something's got this guy queued
like those
up.
Championship football teams, you know, you just know where the guy, like the quarterback just knows that's where the guy's at, you know?
So it's just unity, just bringing this whole community, the Chaves County as a whole, and that's bringing it together.
And that's one of the unique things about law enforcement, where is, yes, there's individuals that, okay, they're primarily SWAT guys, or these are investigators, but at the end of the day, every one of them's a cop. Yes. Every one of them has the exact same duties and responsibilities, whether their job is behind a desk or, you know, on the CSI team or whatever it is. Their job is to serve and protect. And if there is a crime happening or something going down, they're not going to say, "Oh, well, I'm an office clerk. I'm not going to do anything about that." No, they're alone. You know, so that, because of that thing, you got, regardless of what you do in law enforcement, you're a cop first.
Sure.
And if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. And everybody has their role. You know, and we've got at the Roswell Police Department, we've got over the past several years, we have hired in civilian positions. So we brought in a lot of the civilian positions to relieve the officers back into areas that we need.
Gotcha.
You know, the certified, more training.
Sure.
You know,
some of the mundane stuff that really is just eating up an officer's time. We can let someone who has lesser qualifications do that, while our more qualified people are doing where they need to be.
Right, and even the civilians that we bring in, we train them.
Sure.
We ensure that they're trained properly. We give them all the tools in their bag that they need.
And
we
plus,
send
it's
them
an aspiration for next. You know, okay, you get kids right out of school or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they're not old enough. You know, that's why we talk about service aids and something.
Right.
Maybe they hope to pursue a career in law enforcement. All right, let's get your feet wet doing some of this.
And it gives them the opportunity to see.
Yeah.
They go in, they look at it, and they get hands-on information, and then they look at it and say, I can now make a solid decision. This is the direction I want to go.
Plus, they're probably better educated that when they do come back from the academy, they're much more familiar with the neighborhood. They already know the people. You know what I mean? That part that, you know, once you're in the academy, if you're new to the area, you have to learn.
Right.
These folks already have that.
Well, it just makes them far more well-rounded. Yeah. They're well-rounded with experience, with training, with knowledge of what they're expected to do, with what's going to happen. It's just a win-win. And the whole department, any department you go into, the foundation is the same. Law enforcement foundation is the same.
Yeah.
I don't care what department it goes to. the foundation is the same.
Sure.
The laws are the same. The state laws and everything. You might have a little tweak on your policies. You may have a little addition here or addition there of certain things that you do in your jurisdiction.
Sure.
The sheriff's department, you know, they have a little bit different role on some aspects with the courts.
Sure. Their duties might be a little
subpoena, bit. You know,
yeah.
right. But the foundation is the same. It's law enforcement, and it's you know, working to ensure the laws are being upheld. And that's the foundation. It doesn't matter where you come from.
I imagine it doesn't matter if you're sitting in the sheriff's department, the RPD, the state police, wherever.
Right.
When it's time for that shift change meeting, every one of those meetings probably look and sound exactly the same.
Sure.
You know what I
Sure.
mean?
Yeah.
The format, the way they're done.
Yes.
I mean, the jokes may be different,
Oh, sure.
but it's, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's you walk. It's kind of like walking into McDonald's. You walk into McDonald's, you always know what to expect.
Right.
It's probably the same thing in every police department, regardless if it's state, county, feds. It doesn't matter.
Sure, it's all the same. It's just because you cross out of Roswell city limits, and you go into the county. There's not a whole new statute book.
Sure.
It's not a county
Matter of fact,
statute book.
some of the people are going to be right because that does happen.
Yeah,
they
just cross,
work there here and they work here now, and that does happen.
Crossover, and you have a lot of crossover by even employees.
Sure.
You know, we've lost a few of our employees to Eddy County.
Sure.
And there's no blame. There's no resentment. There's no anything. Hey, you've got to do what's best for you and your family.
Sure.
Well,
there's always that grass is greener thing, and sometimes people learn it's not always greener.
It's not always greener on the other side of the fence, but
there's other and that's life. Everyone's learning that lesson.
That's
it's like, okay, for a few dollars more, but was the quality of life better? And that's just
it's not any different. I mean,
as we become adults,
corporate America. Corporate America is the exact same way. The restaurants in Roswell.
Yeah.
You know, you go one day and you go to eat at this one, and then 2 weeks later you go over here, and the same waitresses now at that way. It's life.
And I imagine
people move around, and they try and do it for the betterment of their life and the betterment of their family.
Yeah.
And that's just life.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter what it is.
And I imagine, it's like you said, numbers get down universally, and I'm sure at Eddy County, you're like, man, we're way down. We're going to have to up the pay. And of course, people over here saying, man, you see what they're hiring for my job over here? Maybe. And then they go, and you always get some. And then, but how many times, sometimes they went, and 5 years later, guess what? They're back
Sometimes
over.
Sometimes not even 5 years. Sometimes it's 5 months.
It does happen.
We've had them, leave for various reasons. And
but
then,
it's the same in all careers. Teachers are the same way. My wife's a teacher. She's been a teacher for 28 years, and same kind of thing. See that deal. But I'm kind of curious, to talk a little bit about, because obviously, the role of sheriff. It's as unique as everyone, where you could easily pull into somebody over for speeding, but at the same time, next moment you're in Santa Fe in a room here. Talk a little bit about that experience for you, and how you anticipate that as sheriff and dealing with some of that.
Yeah.
stuff.
So, I'll be straight up front. I'm not a politician.
Yeah.
I'm not a politician. I am a police officer. That's my basis.
Sure.
I know that as the sheriff's position is a political position because it's an elected position.
Yes.
And they do a lot of work in Santa Fe through legislative, sessions and different things. In the position that I'm in currently, I don't. I'll be very forthcoming. I'm not hiding anything on that. I don't have the experience on
city runs
that
different than the
side
sheriff's
of it.
department.
Sure, but I do have common sense. I do have knowledge. I do have law enforcement knowledge. I have knowledge of this county.
You've lived on Earth. You know what's going on.
Yes. So 25 years ago, I didn't know how to be a cop.
Right.
But here I am 25 years later, and I'm the deputy chief.
Right.
And I have 25 years of vast experience. Of multitudes of hours of training. And so that's an aspect and an item that I will learn, I will understand, and I will fight 100% for Chaves County.
Absolutely.
I am going to work 100% on the legislative side and work with our our representatives in this area
Sure.
that make the decisions and that bring things to Santa Fe. And I'm going to work very hard for Chavez County, to be looked at for the needs and the things that improve this county, and then the things that are going to be negatively. We've seen some of that over the past years.
Sure.
COVID and different things like that. We've seen a lot of negative issues come out, and I can tell you that I will stand 100% against negative items. If it is going to
Constitutional
or unconstitutional, unlawful, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to fight the fight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not afraid to fight the fight. I'm not going to be pushed around. I'm not going to be bullied. I'm there to stand for what's right and to do what's right.
Sure.
In good times and in bad.
The good, bad, and the ugly.
That's it.
Not every day is going to be a cupcake, unfortunately.
No, it doesn't matter where you're at. That's.
And I want to ask, and this is more, I'm just Jewish curious, because I just kind of, as a deputy police chief.
Yes.
Now I have a military background. I was in the Air Force,
okay.
And so, in the military, chain of command, not necessarily your opinion is something that you can always share at a given moment and things, and in law enforcement, like. Is it that simple? Like, I know you have a chain of command. You got your sergeants, your lieutenants, but like in the Air Force, like a chief walks in a room, the chief, what he says is God, is law.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
As a deputy chief, I feel like in the police department where the chief and the deputy chiefs, like you guys walk around and kind of like what you guys say is what's going to happen kind of me. Or now that it's an elected position, yes, don't get me wrong. Sheriff rolls in and people are like, all right, the sheriff, they're going to listen.
Sure.
But like, I feel like it's a little less chain of commandy. Like, or am I wrong? And I'm just curious about that. Where I mean, yes, the chain of command's there, but like, there's just certain things you can say, maybe to the sheriff that you would not say to a police chief. Does that make sense at all?
No, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, I think that the the respect for the title. And there's respect for the position. Is still the same.
Gotcha.
The sheriff is over that wheelhouse.
Gotcha.
The sheriff is the head law enforcement over that area. Over the sheriff's department, over the county.
Right.
Now, in taking that a step further, in the county, the sheriff and the police chief,
Mm-hmm.
Within the city limits, the police chief has just as much power.
Gotcha.
It's a concurrent jurisdiction
Sure.
type situation. But in what you're talking about, no, there's still, the sheriff is, by all accounts, the chief.
Gotcha.
Of the sheriff's department. Now, the undersheriff, which, here soon, I plan on coming back in and introducing my undersheriff. Perfect fit. Daniel Ornelas.
Okay.
He's a retired from the sheriff's department. Awesome guy. I have 100% full trust in this guy. He knows the position.
Mm-hmm.
He knows the department, the sheriff's department.
And he can fill in those gaps.
He's a veteran
that you need help in.
He does. He knows everything. But as far as the rank in the sheriff's department, the sheriff he's the top dog.
Sure.
In that department. And then your undersheriff is the one that's running the department itself.
Sure.
He's
making the sheriff look good.
He's hustling. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Kind of like the same thing with the deputy chief.
Sure, you got the same role here.
Sure, we
sure.
For the most part, the chief has his own role.
Sure,
he's at a lot of meetings, a lot of events, a lot of public, out in the public,
right,
doing different things. And as deputy chiefs, we're still making sure everything is going. And we have a great setup at the Roswell Police Department because we've got captains, we've got lieutenants, we've got sergeants,
Sure.
They all know their role, and they all do the best job they can. And so
Sure.
it runs smoothly.
Sure.
And as far as the sheriff's department, that's what I anticipate is going to happen there.
Gotcha.
You know, when it's going to, I get into that position, it's going to run smooth. There's going to be people in the right places. They're going to be accountable for their positions.
Sure.
And it's going to run smooth.
Yeah.
It's going to run great.
This is kind of, it's just one of those. It's the most unique position in really all of elected officials, I think, when it comes to the sheriff's position.
Yeah.
And so because it's at the end of the day, it's the most political, non-political thing there is. If that makes sense.
That's a pretty good description. Yeah. Political, non-political situation.
So,
yeah.
At the end of the day,
it can be very political, but and at different times,
Now, this is my own 2 cents. This is when I tell people, it's like positions like this, it's really not a D or an R thing to me. It really is the person. You need to look, and you need to see the history. You need to see, and I think more than even other elected, even than your state reps and senators.
Right.
I would argue, because you have a much more day-to-day relationship with the public than those people do.
Right.
I think that's the kind of stuff matters more, and so that's
Right.
why I'm telling when I tell people when you're looking at this stuff, that's the kind of stuff you need to look at is exactly the thing you're talking
Right.
about. What's that relationship like? And
Correct.
And so
and I think for the general public and for the voters out there, do your research.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the true. Don't look at the just the Facebook politics.
that'll drive you nuts.
Oh
if you get
yeah,
all that.
of what the appearance may be.
Not to mention, you'll think everybody's absolutely evil or absolutely good, and there's no
sure.
gray.
Sure.
It's Facebook. Take everything with a grain of salt.
But take it for the person, and do your research.
Mm-hmm.
Do your honest, true research. If you want to look at somebody, then my biggest thing is talk to that person. Reach out and talk to that person.
Mm-hmm.
Do your research. Find the reality behind what they're about, what they've done. Look at every aspect of that. Don't just take it for word value of what somebody said, or sometimes of just what that person said.
Absolutely.
Back up your own knowledge and back up your own vote, because this is that is something that is very powerful in this country still, is the power to vote.
Yep.
And a lot of people, Chaves County is pretty well known for kind of having low numbers, and I would just appeal to our citizens, is take that right, your right to be able to vote, to make a difference, and use that.
Absolutely.
But research it, ensure that you know wholeheartedly what that person's about,
Absolutely.
what they've done, their track record, good or bad, and make a solid choice that you can lay your head down at night and say, I did that based on my own knowledge, and I did it for this reason.
Pretty signs and amount of said signs is not a reason to vote for somebody.
Right.
I know that seems to be the way we do local elections. Like, I saw that sign more than any other sign. I'll vote for that guy.
Yeah, and it's a game.
Yeah.
It's a game that we all have to play. You all have to have to play it, to kind of get it out there. And
most people put in the least amount of time making decisions on the people that are going to impact their life on a much bigger basis. Like,
Sure.
let's face it. At the end of the day, what the sheriff position does is going to impact your day-to-day life much more than even the president of the United States.
Sure it is, because it's in your world. It's in your little bubble.
Absolutely. So
we're
do
right
your
here.
research.
Yes.
Do your homework.
Just do your homework.
Ask
do your
questions.
research. Ask questions. Yes.
We're about out of time, but speaking of that, if folks want to look you up and ask you or talk to you or read more about what you represent, what's a good way to do that?
So right now I'm working on a web page that'll have an entire bio. It's still in the works, but that'll be coming out soon. They can always go to my Facebook page, Mike Taylor for Chaves County Sheriff.
Perfect.
They can always reach me at the police department.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not going to I'm not going to
He's doing
cross
his day job,
over.
right? Yeah.
I still have a job to do.
Absolutely.
I still am employed with the city of Roswell.
Yep.
I take that 100% wholeheartedly, and my morals and ethics are not going to let one cross over to the
Sure.
other. So, feel free to contact me, but I'm going to set up a time.
You're going to be more
outside
apt
of
to talk off hours and on hours about your
but,
date.
But I am open 100%. I am open 100% to answer anybody's questions, to speak with anybody, to meet with anybody. I won't tell you that I have all the answers. I'm not going to promise you the world, because I'm only going to do what I can do.
Sure.
And I'm going to be 100% honest behind it. And if I don't know, I'm going to tell you I don't know. But I'm just real.
Just trying to
just me.
Be the best sheriff
the best
that
I can be.
So.
That's it.
Well, I appreciate the visit.
No,
here,
I appreciate you.
And I'm sure we'll talk more here in the future here. And thank you. Stay safe, and
I appreciate
thank you for your service to the community.
Thank
we
you.
Greatly
I appreciate it.
So,
Alrighty.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. It is 10 o'clock. It's time for me to get kicked off the radio. You're listening to 106.